All righty. Think we're all up. Yeah, we're all up. We got it all up. How you guys doing this afternoon? Decided I'd do a little bit of coverage here for this afternoon. Kind of get things rolling here in the old weather center, and figured I'd put in a couple hours. What do you think? I think it's a good idea. Watching this is really an unusual system. I got to tell you, it
New
is
information. This
usual in the
severe
sense of
thunderstorm
just
warning has
how
been
many
updated.
areas are being impacted by this thing. I mean, it's so big, and a big part of the country is under the gun here. So I'm going to close down some of these other files here so I don't crash my system. Leave too many things open, you're going to get in trouble. Can't do that. You got to keep it all closed off, or you could be running into some trouble. So let me just close off all this stuff. There we go. That's a little more like it. Kick out of studio. Hello. Yeah, I thought I'd come back in here for today. Do a little bit of coverage for a couple hours here, and then I'll probably take the wife over to this new place we got to eat that's got some pretty good food. Not bad. When she comes home, we'll go have some dinner there. She's back on her health kick again for right now, so we will do that. Hello, Diane. Good to see you from Chatsworth, Georgia. How are you? Good to see you. Yeah, we're doing a little coverage here. It's a big area, man. I mean, just absolutely, just huge. Look at the difference. Can't really see that much, but definitely got a pretty pronounced gust front wind here going right through here. So very pronounced going in there. Let me switch. I want to switch my color spectrum back over to a different color. I was using black yesterday. I'm going to use black back over to pink. That's why I like it. Let's make this a little bigger too. Just a little bit better.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been
So
issued.
anyway, yeah. So this little complex of storms has had a nice little history with it, and has been causing some headaches and problems for everybody. I saw that I was you notice we're at 68.73. We added I think we were at 52 one up the air yesterday, so we added about 21 more over to the channel yesterday. So that was not too bad. We'll take that. We'll take a few at a time, and make sure if you guys are checking out the coverage, you know what you got to do. Got to hit that like button. Got to put the comments in there like Diane Roisin has done. Absolutely. I'm freezing. Yeah, I'm freezing cold, man. I'm cold as ice. I don't mind competition. I just don't like a fixed deck. That's the thing that drives me a little crazy. And then I get these yahoos. I get these people that come in, hey, I've been checking out your YouTube channel, and you hire me to do your thing, and I'll get your viewership, and it's because he's doing it right and you're doing it wrong. I said, look, dude, I'm doing the same thing he's doing. Same category, same stuff. Don't give me that crap. Not working. Well, you're always a crapshoot when you're kind of looking at some of these cameras and stuff. So, we got here, Brandy. Who we got here? Making sure. We are okay. All right. Look what you're froze. Oh, I'm froze? Really? I don't see I'm froze. You think my picture's frozen? Because I'm looking at the. Oh, let me look at the broadcast. I did not know it was frozen. I was in studio mode there for a second. I had to take it out. Maybe maybe it was frozen from that. Let me double check. You got me wondering about that right now. So I'm gonna go pull it up here on the YouTube channel. Make sure it's correct. I want to double check. Make sure it's not nothing I'm doing. Let me take a look here. Yeah, maybe that's what it. No, I'm looking good. It says, oh, it keeps freezing. Well, that could be your connectivity because I'm looking at my stream live over here right now. It's looking pretty good. No issues there.
New information.
Not
This severe
seeing it there.
thunderstorm warning has
Looking
been
all right on
updated.
my end. Huh? That's interesting. All right, let me get off this thing. No, it's showing up okay over there. So I'll have to see what these guys are doing back in Texas. I think I'm almost going to be on for a couple hours today and see how it's going. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button, man, as y'all passing through my little channel. So kind of watching what's going on out there. I saw that Brandon was actually taking the day off here today. So he had to get his windshield and stuff. I saw him post on that. We got one of the storm. The chasers are all out here. They're all kind of spread out between. I see them right up in here between Texas and Oklahoma. They're all out here right now. So we'll see what they're going to do later today. We got one little severe thunderstorm warning down here in Texas to talk about. This area's been hit so hard here in the last few weeks or so. That's in central Pecos County. Goes until What time does that go till? Where's the out time? Oh, that's interesting. No out time on that. Oh, 2:15. There he goes. I'm sorry. I'm having a little brain fart there. All right, but we're gonna watch these complex storms up here. The main threat with this, not a derecho per se, but it is definitely a little upper level disturbance. It's kind of embedded in the flow, kind of moving in that direction. So we'll see. Like I said, I saw wind gusts. They had one of the 91 miles per hour with this particular line. This was setting up a lot of when I was doing my morning update this morning. It was setting up a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings there across Oklahoma and southern Kansas and kind of sneaking into Arkansas. And now that complex of storms is moving this way. We're still waiting for the daytime heating because, in fact, I got to get this up real quick. Let me go to studio mode here real quick. I need to get this other map up. So give me 1 second while I get this set up because I did not get it up just yet. So let me fix this. I did not log into it, so that's my fault. But I like to have my big picture kind of showing the weather map and the stuff going on with that. We got a few storms, few issues over there into Ohio too. I want to show you. So just hold on 1 second while I get this up for you. There's that box. That's what I wanted to show. I wanted to show this thing here. So let me go a little bit closer. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. There we go. All right. Here we go. Let's go get back into studio mode. Here we go. So this is the area we're kind of watching. We got severe thunderstorm watches up here. You see it here from basically Ohio stretching all the way back into Arkansas. So these go until 9 o'clock Eastern time. And that's where we got a few severe thunderstorm warnings in Ohio we got to talk about and back over toward areas there in southern Illinois. In fact, we got to go back over Radar Mega right now because we do have a new warning that has come out here.
New information.
Yeah, that's Texas. Okay, we'll talk about that in a minute. But this is 3/4 inch hail. This is for Perry County, Jackson, and Southeast Perry. Goes until 2:15.
A new severe
That's that warning right there.
Issued.
So this is a very impressive little squall line. It's going to move through southern Illinois. Should be heading over to the Evansville, Hendersonville, Madisonville, Paducah. We'll probably get a little tail and Charlie on that stuff a little bit. So it'll catch us a little bit and cause a little bit of headaches there for folks. But today, I think the tornado threat will be fairly isolated. Not zero. You still can get a tornado even with a severe thunderstorm watch. It's still a possibility. So that is in the cards. But predominantly there, you see it there across New York, back over toward Ohio, and then back over toward Texas. The chasers are out in Texas. They're kind of in that area down there. They'll be watching that for today. I see a damage report. Let me see what this one's saying here. Roof blown on a school. Wow. Ooh, a roof got blown off a school. That shows you how intense those winds have been going in here. Let me go back over to velocity mode and we'll see what the winds are doing in here a little bit. And kind of highlighting some of this. I see 60-mile-per-hour winds in here. Yeah, 62. Around this boundary. And boundary doesn't really show it very well. But there are some gusty winds a high aloft.
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning.
Let's go over to that new information. That's actually on Ohio. Let's talk about our friends over here in Ohio. So we got two little clusters of storms we're watching here. This one coming into the Columbus, Ohio area and stretching back toward Washington Court and down toward Loveland, just to the northeast of Cincinnati. So we got a pretty good squall line here. So numerous little warnings coming through here. Right now, the city of Columbus, Ohio is under the gun right now. So this severe thunderstorm warning is for Franklin and Northern Fayette counties and 55-mile-per-hour wind or 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny-sized hail. Hello, treasured home. How you doing? Yeah, I decided to do a little bit of broadcasting this afternoon, just for a few hours until my wife comes home, and then we're going to go have some dinner.
Has been issued.
So I thought since I did get the kitchen clean today, took care of my dad. Yeah, I bet you do. That's right. You're out of the Columbus right now. You're getting pounded pretty good. Hey, do you have a good webcam there I could pull from there in Columbus on YouTube or something? If it does, put it down in the chat. I'll grab it and I'll drop it in the drop it in one of my camera shots there. I guess I can look. I'd like to see if I don't know if Columbus has got a good camera there or not, but I can look. I've not looked over that way. Let's take a look. Let's take a look, shall we? Let's see, Columbus, Ohio webcam. Let's see what we got in here. Oh, they got the Ohio campus. And it's looking at the promenade. That looks quiet there right now. So I guess I can use this one. I can use this one. Why not? Let's put this one in for you.
New information. This severe considerable destructive thunderstorm warning has been updated.
Considerable thunderstorm warning. So there we go. We got the the Ohio State University campus right there. So we got a campus shot there. That's not Bloomington. I got to change the update there. So stand by for a minute. Let me fix that. That was yesterday's position. So I need to change that. So let me update that real quick. Columbus, Ohio. Yeah, we only saw 2 tornado warnings that I saw yesterday, or 2 confirmed tornadoes so far out of that moderate risk. So I would constitute that a little bit as a bust because we just didn't get what we thought we were going to get out of that. So, but again, I think that's a good thing when that happens. I don't like seeing, I love tracking the storms. I love doing the storms, but I darn sure want to see anybody get hurt or property get damaged because I know I wouldn't want it to be my property. I don't know about you. That's just how I feel about it. But the good news out of yesterday's broadcast was that everything really worked well. All the upgrades, the alerts worked well. Everything, we didn't have any crashes, didn't have any issues with everything. So everything looked out pretty good. So just some minor updates I want to do with our Zoom program we're still working on, and my HD background, which I got to work on. But other than that, looking very nice. So look at all these damage. Look at some of these wind reports in here. We got 60-mile-per-hour winds here. ASOS says a 50. There's a 50 here. We got some damage reports around Dayton. Tree limbs down. So these storms have got a little punch to them. Large tree down on roadway. So we got some pretty good storms there going through Ohio right now. And that'll continue on into, probably may sneak into Pittsburgh and West Virginia. We'll see if they hold their muster or not. Because we are heading toward that max daytime heating right now, obviously. Go back, check out these. At least that tornado warning's now dropped off, so we don't have a tornado warning. We just have those 8 severe thunderstorm warnings. So we're tracking several clusters, one on Ohio, one in Illinois, and one, of course, that one little lone storm back over into Texas. We got to watch. Yeah, I know, and I did say the Ohio State University, right? Did I say that correctly? I'm gonna make sure I said that right. I don't want to tick off any Ohio State fans who might be checking us out. Of course, I'm a Georgia guy. You see my Georgia flag up there. So, University of Georgia campus, Athens, is about 35 miles from my house. So, and I grew up in the state of Georgia, so thus I'm a Georgia Bulldog fan. Didn't go to school there. I was too stupid for that. but do enjoy the Georgia program. Oh, got some 1-inch hail down here in Texas. Let's check that out. That's got a pretty nice little hailer there. Hail report here. Quarter-size hail reported by emergency managers. Time was estimated by report and radar. All right, so a pretty good hailer in those. Boy, we had a number of hail reports yesterday. Check this out, guys. Out of a lot of those reports we saw yesterday, so far today, we've had 14 hail reports and 82 wind damage reports. So we've got a significant amount of wind. And you can see the track of where these storms have kind of been projecting here, kind of out of Ohio and then kind of moving in this general direction. So that's where we've been seeing the wind damage reports. And we're probably going to get some more before it's all said and done. Obviously, with those two bands we're kind of watching going through those areas right now. So let's go back over here. Like I said, all the chasers are all up in Oklahoma and Texas. They're probably going to wait for the late day stuff, and I don't know if we'll be able to see their stuff later today to see how they're looking. Let's see if any of these guys are broadcasting. There's Connor. He's at the Pyramid Center.
New information.
So we'll see what their stuff is a little bit later this afternoon. We're going to keep an eye on this stuff heading through Cape Girardeau. They're in Missouri. We're a pretty town. Ever been through Cape Girardeau? Not bad. But a very impressive little squall line. That's looking very impressive. Yeah. So I've got my new Facebook page. I've got it going on like a $10 ad buy. I figure that's about what I can afford, which is about $300 a month. And it keeps that page growing at a regular, about 100 per day. And I think that's a good level right now, as I'm waiting to get my other Facebook page back. But the YouTube, I had him also trying to get on my North Georgia YouTube page, which has only got about 100 people on it. Hey, you're not really doing anything. I was like, I'm not really doing anything with that page, Joker. This is my page that I'm doing stuff with, and all my parameters say I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing correctly. I've had scores on it and everything, but it's not translating into any kind of viewership, unfortunately. That's because that's just how YouTube is. I really blame YouTube. I really do. I don't blame those guys. I just blame YouTube. Let's see the Evansville. So we're kind of in between. As these storms continue to press eastward, I'm going to definitely lock into the Evansville radar here and checking, making sure how the stuff in southern Illinois is going to be doing as it's coming across. So we got Mount Vernon, Carbondale, Centralia. I'm going to see what this stuff's here in northern Kentucky's doing. Not bad. Just some little thunderstorms here going through Kentucky. And then, of course, we got the real heavy stuff back over here toward Columbus. Boy, Columbus, that camera cannot be right. That has got to be storming, or maybe that's delayed or something. I mean, there's no way that's right. But it said it's streaming it live. Let me double check that camera again. Yeah, it cannot be right. Cannot be. It says live, but I don't think it is. I think it's dated. Or it's a little windy. It started on May 19th, 2024. It says it's a live camera, but you looking at the radar, you'd think it'd be storming like crazy there right now. But oh well. I see the wind up there a little bit. Let's see. Ohio doesn't really have that. I'm looking around to see if Ohio's got any decent rail. This color was Wisconsin. Ohio doesn't really have a lot of good cameras in that area, in that state, as far as YouTube's concerned. Just kind of seeing what they had, but no, not seeing any. Never hurts to check, though. Ba-ba, baby. I think my buyout's finished. Let me double check. I think it is. I believe it is. Let me double check this. I think I'm done with that ad. Let me double check here. Yeah, Godfather's got 36,000 watching his butt. Let's see here. Let's go over to your channel. And let's see, manage channel. And let's go to promotions. I think I'm done with this one now. Let me double check. No, it's still going. I still got another $8-9 left on it. We'll probably get a few more folks here on the channel. And that's about par for the course. 157 new followers. That stuff's expensive. That's why I don't advertise on YouTube. Of course, I could be a real jerk about it. I could do. Let's see here. Let's go to here. Got any questions? Don't hesitate to put them down below, guys. As always. We'll see what's going on here. I know what I'm going to try to do here. Let's do. Hold on one second here. Hold on one second.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued. New information, this severe thunderstorm warning has been updated. New information, this severe thunderstorm warning has been updated. A new flash flood warning has been issued. New information, this flash flood warning has been updated.
Hold on. There it goes. Hold on. Hold on. Be right back. Be right back. Hold on. I'm back. Sorry about that. Had to go just want to give me his drink real quick. So let's do this real quick. I want to do a couple of things. I wonder if I can edit in here. I think I can. Let's see here. Yeah, let's do that here. What is today? Today is the 29th, right? Yeah. April 29th, 2025. Save. All right, here we go. All righty then. I got to watch these damage reports coming out of Ohio because, man, I got some pretty serious wind in here. I want to check out that. One thing that's been really standing out is just the wind with this stuff. I mean, that is all probably 60-mile-per-hour winds blowing through Columbus and stuff. I'm sure we're probably getting some power outages in there too. New severe thunderstorm warning. Let's talk about that one. This one just came out. So this is for Knox County in north central Ohio. Severe thunderstorm was located over Sunbury and moving east at 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-inch hail possible with that system there. So that's getting out ahead of that line.
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
We can kind of check up along here. And I know we had somebody up in Buffalo was asking earlier if they're going to get these storms up that way. It's possible. I'm still waiting for things to fire. I haven't really seen anything up that way just yet. But we'll see how that looks a little bit later today.
New information.
That's
this
Illinois.
Severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
So that's over here in Illinois. That's just got updated. Let's go check out that squall line over there.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
Knox, Ohio. That's the one we just did. All right. So this one is still showing 60-mile-per-hour winds. And this is Cape Girardeau, obviously. Pocahontas, Trail of Tears State Park, Scott City, Anathibes, and Delta, all kind of in the path of the storm
New
right now.
information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
That is what I just read my update on there. Thank you, guys. I love that alert tone. Really helps me out. Too bad these cameras down here aren't working that bad. It would have been nice to see them, but I'll see if this one's working down here. Yeah, I got to check with, well, that's Quinlan. Ooh, look at that. There you can tell in that line. Quinlan, you can see a little bit of the wall cloud there. Not very bad down on this end of it, but you kind of get an idea of the clouds and stuff. That one showed up pretty good. I wonder why these other ones aren't working. There's Stoddard. Oh, there you go. There's got some rain there in Stoddard. You can see some of that. Yeah, this thing, like I said, I can't believe that generated a 91-mile-per-hour wind on that thing earlier. Let's go back over to Ohio. Kind of watching what's going on there. I still can't believe that cannot be a live shot. There's just no way. Absolutely no way. It says it's live, but it's not. There's just absolutely no way that's live. Sorry about that. I was really hoping that shot was live, but it says it's live. It doesn't look like, it didn't say it was recorded.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
Macomb, Michigan, up here. Okay, we got up here in Michigan. Let's go check this one out. This is up here in Macomb Township.
A new flash flood warning has
So
been
this
issued.
warning here is for about an hour. 1-inch size hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. This is for east central Oakland County and central Macomb County and southeastern Michigan. And this goes until 4 o'clock. Storm is moving east at 55 miles per hour. So you can see that storm coming up from Michigan. So we're getting down multiple states here, getting in on the action on that storm moving up through there. And we still got these storms here. Interested to see if these kind of hold their punch going into eastern Ohio or not. I also might play around with my with the WeatherWise a little bit for this afternoon. Now the WeatherWise program, which is what I use here, it has a lot of different features. I haven't really started using it too much just yet. I do use it for my overview, obviously for the breakdown for the severe weather parameters. Obviously, the enhanced zone, which is going from deep in New York State all the way back toward Louisville, and then this area down here. So we got two different zones we're kind of watching here, and then the tornado threat here today, again in the brown. That's 5% there from New York down to Ohio, and then again down here into Texas. All the chasers are chosen to stay down here. They're not going to go up here for obvious reasons. It's a lot better to chase down here. You can see better, obviously. So there's that. That's the wind threat. The high wind threat is better up here. From New York State down toward Kentucky, which is what we're seeing there with those clusters of storms. Obviously, got the ones going through Ohio right now, and then we got that other one that's going through Cape Girardeau that's going to be coming this way as well. So the high wind threat's definitely there, and the hail threat is going to be higher down toward Texas, where they've been pounded for like days on end. They can't get a break down there to save themselves. But weather-wise, does have other little nicks to it. It can also go into radars and stuff like that. So I can go in here and look at stuff. Let me get over to some of the velocity mode here. Long range velocity here. That's actually not the good radar. Let's use this one. Let's use the Wilmington radar here. There we go. So it's not bad. It's got a decent signature to it. It's got the skits and everything with it, and not looking bad. So this is kind of my backup radar from Radar Mega whenever it's down or something like that. So I can use that as a backup. We had an issue a couple of weeks ago where I think the Radar Mega got overloaded there for a minute because of the amount of data and stuff, and it crashed, and I didn't have my backup ready. So I've got a backup now. So a little lesson learned, you know. But you can see these storms as they're moving off toward the east here, going in toward Newark and coming down. You see these skit lines kind of showing the trajectory of each one of these storms. And also can look at the velocity mode in here. And again, look at these high winds still highlighting in this areas here. But where this has got some pluses and minuses, I still prefer
this severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
Radar Mega for the overall trend. Let me back this back out here again. And keep this on. All right, it looks like they're updating some of the watch boxes here. So it's always important for me to go back and check the watch box. So now they've extended it out toward Texas. So that's where I'm seeing the new watch box come out. So, and that's one big upgrade that we had. Before, when this stuff wasn't going, I would always have to keep looking at my phone and double checking it. Now I'm alerted to it. That really, really helps make coverage a little bit easier for me. So now we got this severe thunderstorm watch boxes back here toward Texas. These go until 9 o'clock Central Time. So we got Texas and Oklahoma now in the gap. You got Arkansas, and then you got all the way back over here toward Pennsylvania. So a very large area. I mean, I'm almost going to pull all the way out here. And you can see these watch boxes going all the way from Ohio, all the way back toward Texas. I mean, that's a very, very large, some 1,500 miles of coverage there showing up where these watch boxes are, although we got a couple of gaps in between them. But still, that's very impressive to see that. And you can kind of see that, again, the extent of the storm system here on the satellite imagery. And I love the GOES 19 upgrade, which includes the thunderstorms that come through there. So you kind of see the lightning showing up in there pretty well. So I like to try to mix this up a little bit. I don't like to just stay completely on the radar all the time. I do like to move around just a little bit, just to make it so it's not so monotonous for you guys watching at home. Try to give it a little bit of mix, just a little bit. And the next thing I got to work on here soon is the tools that I want to use for hurricane season. There's some things I want to do with that.
New information. This severe thunderstorm
okay,
has been updated.
This is again just showing some updates on this line going through the Columbus area. And there's a new severe thunderstorm warning just came out right when we go right on it. So let's go ahead and update this one. And this is for southeastern Fayette, southeastern Pickaway, central Highland, and Ross County. Goes until 3:45. Severe thunderstorm was located near Leesburg, moving east at 55. So 60-mile-per-hour wind and penny-sized hail with this one. And we've seen that all up and down the line. Again, when I go back over to velocity mode here, seeing a little pocket there of some pretty good winds here on the southern part of that. But anywhere there you see in the yellow, you're probably getting some 60-mile-per-hour winds all up and down here from Williamsport up to Groveport, Gama. I see a 55 mile per hour. Here's a ASOS showing a 59 mile per hour wind. So it's verifying out what we're seeing on the velocity mode here on the radar with the storm reports. So pretty impressive there. There's the new watches that has been issued as they're issuing up the county warnings there, watches there in Texas. So things in Texas should get hopping going here pretty
New
soon.
information. This severe, considerable, destructive thunderstorm
That's back toward
warning
Texas.
has
Let's
been
go ahead and
updated.
check that one out over toward Texas. Oh, well, hold on. We got a new warning here. It just came out.
A new severe thunderstorm
Yep,
warning
this is-
has been issued.
That's Perry. We did that one. This is the other one. So here's this one. 1.25 inch hail. This is for east central Clinton, southwestern Marion, and eastern Washington. It goes till 2:45. Storm was located near Nashville, moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. Hey, Tyler. Good. Welcome back, my friend. We're just playing around today. I'm not too worried about the subscribe thing today. I'm just going to do my regular coverage. Not going to be asking and begging for viewers today. Just going to play around for a couple hours before the wife comes home. And test out everything, make sure everything's working pretty good. I had to make a couple corrections last night.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
Let's go check out this Texas one here. Oh, they did add another one out here. I thought they did. I thought I'd missed that one. So let's go check this one out. This is definitely a hail or damage threat considerable. 70-mile-per-hour winds on this. North central Pecos, southeastern Crane, southwestern Upton until 3 o'clock. Storm was located 19 miles northeast of Fort Stockton, moving east at 30. So got some pretty gusty winds on that one out in Texas. Folks in Texas getting that one. And this has just been, oh, by the way, Texas, if you didn't see it already, I'll just kind of remind everybody here that we just did get a new watch box out there for this area. It goes out till about 9 o'clock tonight. So this just got issued, and obviously we have the watches out in this zone right now across Ohio and stretching back toward Missouri. So I doubt it's updated here on my watch warning list just yet. No, not yet. It hasn't posted the Texas ones, but those will be coming up here pretty soon.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
That's up in Accord up toward Ohio. So let's go check back over in Ohio. And that's for this one. That's where it's coming in. This line's starting to get in here. Again, very strong winds all up in here. Again, this is for southeastern Perry, eastern Union, northern Pulaski, western Johnson County, Williamson County, eastern Jackson, north central Alexander, and Franklin County. It goes till 2:45. So this is moving east at 40. So we got some pretty strong winds all up and down this boundary line as this is coming into Ohio right now. So pretty decent. That's going to cause some power outage. That's the one thing I meant to check. I got a little ADD there. Pardon me for a second. I did want to check to see how the power outages are doing in the states. Let me turn that on real quick, and let's check and see what Ohio is doing for power outages in Ohio. Missouri's got 21,000. Oh, I'm in the wrong state. I'm sorry. This is in Illinois.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
13 here. I want to go over to Ohio. Hold on, let me switch over here. I want to check the power outages in Ohio first. That's what I meant to do.
A new
Bear with me.
considerable destructive thunderstorm
Yeah,
warning
26,000. 26,000 without power. That's pretty good there across Ohio right now. So they show you the power outages there. So you got 26,000 in Ohio. Indianapolis has got a couple thousand. And we got a new warning over here in Illinois. And Illinois got about 1,300. So let's switch over to this radar over here. Let's talk about this new severe thunderstorm warning. Just lit up while we were highlighting it. And this is 1 inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. Northern Jefferson County goes until 2:45. Severe thunderstorm was located near Ashley or near Nashville, moving northeast at 40. So that's that other one there. And that one's, I see a little over inch hail with that one. And that looks like that's got a pretty good hailer in there too. Let's look at the hail there. Yeah, definitely got the hail in there. Let me turn the power thing off real quick. We'll check
A
on
new
that later.
severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
Owens, Kentucky. Let's check on Owens, Kentucky. So we got one over here in Kentucky now.
Warning has been issued.
So let's check this one out. This is for Owens. Very familiar with that area. Central Owen County in northern Kentucky.
A new severe thunderstorm warning.
Severe thunderstorm was
has been issued.
located. I did the Jefferson one, just did that one. This was moving east at 40, 60-mile-per-hour winds, and quarter-sized hail on this one. So pretty good. They're Owenton and Monterey. Still see the purple in there, so you got some pretty good hail in there too. But all these storms need to watch here in Kentucky. This is to the east of the Louisville area. I used to live down here in the town of Radcliffe when I was stationed at Fort Knox back in the like 2009, 10, 11 period. I was there for a couple of years. I actually did a little bit of freelance work there up there in Louisville. Worked for my buddy Mark up there.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
Up in New York. Let's go up here to New York. New York's got a new one up here. Yep, there's up there in New York. Here's what we were waiting on, this one. Here's the new one up here. This is for northern Wyoming County, east central Erie County, northwestern Livingston, and southeastern Greens. Goes until 4 o'clock. Severe thunderstorm was over East Aurora, moving northeast at 45. So now New York State's getting in on action. I know one of our regular viewers is out of Buffalo. Hopefully, told him to be careful today. I thought they'd get some weather this afternoon. She had asked me earlier today, and I said, yeah, I think that's possible.
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
Let's see any changes here on the Macomb one here. Doesn't look like it's changed all that much. Let's see. They extended maybe? Yep. Over Macomb Township or 7 miles northwest of Mount Clemens, moving east at 55. And that's the watch box being updated there. So we got 17 active warnings out there covering multiple states right now. Things have really gotten hot and hectic here across the country. Look at the wide perspective here. Oops, hold on, let me close that out there. Kind of give you an idea of where everything's at. So we've got multiple warnings we're watching. Obviously, we've got New York State, and we got up here across Ohio and Kentucky getting in there, and Illinois and Missouri. And then way down here at the bottom of your screen, we got Texas. So we got all these pockets of severe weather, 17 of them stretching over a very large area here for this afternoon. Let's go back in here on the ones here in Illinois. This line here has been probably the most destructive. It had winds up to 91 miles per hour with it earlier today as it was moving through portions of Missouri.
New information. This severe considerable destructive thunderstorm warning has been updated.
That's down into Texas. So let's see what that's been updated down here. Trying to stay up on all these storms. Been quite a bit. There's a couple of good hail. That's got a really big hailer in there. Wow. That looks like that's probably... They had 5-inch hail out there in Texas. I'm not sure it's quite that big, but they had 5-inch hail out there. That's a pretty good hailer in there. Look at that. Coming up toward McCarney. That will definitely dent your car. I saw one of the storm chaser guys said he had to go home because of damage to his car from hail. So he couldn't go chasing it today. That was Brandon Koptic. He's one of the main storm chasers out there. If you ever seen his stuff, he's got a lot of good stuff. And he's having to get his car serviced because of the damage he had. So Carbondale, Cape Girardeau is going through it right now. Let's see if this camera here is rural fire state. And there's one of those cameras there on the south. Seeing the clouds there, kind of see the base of the clouds here a little bit. Should get some gusty winds, some rain coming through there. Although it looks like the worst of the storms here will be just off toward the north. Yep, we're going to get real close here to probably going to head on over to, I'm going to do it probably this week. I've been putting it off for a while. I'm going to make my way over to Radar Omega and talk to those guys and see if they'll be interested in doing something a little more official. I like to be able to beta test for them because I used to beta test for a lot of weather products when I worked in TV. The two big weather companies out there that were at the time, back in the day, were Weather Central and WSI. Now, WSI is owned by the Weather Company or a component of what used to be part of the Weather Channel. And the Weather Channel, of course, is split off.
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
Barefoot, Ohio. Yeah, that's where I'm at. That's actually where I'm at. So let's see what they've updated here. Looks like nothing here. Not that one. See which one they've updated. Is it this one? Nope, not that one either. This one? Ooh, damage threat considerable. They put damage threat considerable. 70 mile per hour winds on that. Wow. They really updated that. Again, I was showing you on this radar loop right in here, the velocity was picking up quite a bit of heavy winds in here. You can see this. Look at that. Very impressive. See up 70, there's 67. 67, there's a 71 right there. So 69, 73. So yeah, you can definitely see some gusts up to 70 miles per hour coming in there. So that damage threat's considerable because of the wind gusts coming through here. So a lot of action.
New information. This severe
That's the
thunderstorm
one I
warning
just
has been
focused in
updated.
on. You see all these damage reports, all these wind reports. Been getting some pretty healthy wind reports. Got some behind this. Here's 60. Here's 50. 50. Here's a 60. Here's a 60. So getting quite a few wind damage reports coming in with this system right now. Let's go back up here to check out the ones up here toward New York State. This one, I'd say they got a warning on it. It's like I see one lightning flash. I mean, that's not that bad. It's in the Buffalo area, but nice little thunderstorm. I guess it's when you're not used to seeing a lot of thunderstorms, you just got to treat it with respect. So that's the Buffalo storm. And then we got one over here at north of Detroit. Got a pretty good right near Macomb Township. And that one's still got another 45 minutes on that. Although at the speed it's moving, I think it'll be out of there before the end of that warning is up. So that's kind of interesting. They made it that long. Ann Arbor getting some storms nearby. In southern Michigan, none of these are severe yet, but they could. They definitely could get there. These storms near here coming into southern Illinois, these are I think these look like the strongest, at least from a radar signature perspective. So we kind of see what these are going to. If you got any questions, by the way, if you're watching anywhere, if you got any weather-related questions or you got something you want to know, don't hesitate to use the chat there. As Tyler Belcher, one of our main weather guys here, likes to tell everybody, like and subscribe. Hit that like and subscribe button. And by the way, because I have the chat ninja, I can pull up your chats and we can talk one-on-one, and I can give you a little one-on-one attention if you have any questions, if you happen to be where any of these storms might be hitting here for today. I see the storm. I see the chasers out here are on the move now, starting to move a little bit. Oh, Brad's still stuck. Let's see what these guys are if they're moving. Oh, that's Serenity. Like, boy, that sky is capped. nothing going vertical out there, although it's a bit breezy. That's a fixed station. Here is Connor. He's on the move now. Yeah, you see the clouds out here where they're kind of not doing any kind of vertical motion. They're kind of a little bit flat for right now. They'll start popping a little bit later as we get the daytime heating, but it's definitely humid. The visibility looks a little bit better down here than it was up to the north yesterday. Ooh, we got a new warning. Good timing. Could have timed that any better. Couldn't have timed that better if I wanted to. That's got a pretty good hailer on that one. $half size hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. This is for eastern Lynn County and northwestern Garza County. Goes until 3 o'clock. Severe thunderstorm was located 6 miles southeast of Tohoka, moving northeast at 25.
New information. This severe thunderstorm
So that
warning
one,
has been
again, just like
updated.
this one to the north, I'm surprised this one's not severe either, but both of them look like they got pretty good hailers
A
on
new
both of
severe
them.
thunderstorm warning has been issued.
That's the one we just did. So you got a pretty good hailer on that one and on this one, but this one's not severe. At least it's not officially one. I'm sure it'll go severe here shortly. And of course, we got this one down here in South Texas we continue to watch. Let's go back to land population zones, man. We got to watch these highly populated areas here that are getting inundated with these storms here to the west. Let's see what this camera is on the camera. Looks like, yeah, there's kind of looking at the little bit of a breezy, windy day and kind of seeing the clouds moving in. This area might get clipped a little bit here with some of the thunderstorms there. It looks like a little coal plant there in front of us. But this is a pretty good view. I'll have to watch that closely as that gets closer with these storms. So here's the camera right there on the Ohio River Valley. So as these storms are approaching from the west, should be able to see those come on through. Should be a good camera shot. We'll have to keep an eye on that.
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
Let's go back over here to Ohio. Got to move around a lot today. So that's what happens when you got a severe thunderstorm setup where you got 2,000 miles to cover. We're talking from New York State all the way down to Texas, a very big area being impacted right now. It looks like the worst is through Columbus, so we'll just see what additional damage reports come out of there. I see a lot of the wind reports costing. Like the Columbus Rickenbacker Airport reported 60-mile-per-hour winds as that blew through. We'll keep an eye on the storm chasers out there in Texas to see where they
A
end
new
up setting
severe
up.
thunderstorm warning has been
St.
issued.
Clair, Michigan. Let's go up to Michigan here. We got a new warning. Yep, just came out. Let's go check this one out. That's that storm that I thought was going way too fast that they didn't issue a warning out on. So this is 3/4 inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. This is for southern eastern St. Clair County. Goes till 4:15. The center of the thunderstorm is located over near Baltimore, moving east at 55. That's got penny-sized hail. So this warning, it'll be out of that warning box before it actually gets to the end of its time. They gave it way too much time on that. Well, they're trimming it away. Exactly. Oh, they're trimming it away. So it'll be out of there real quick. Continue to watch this pretty well. So we kind of do it. There's one thing we can do. Let's go ahead and talk about this a little bit. So we'll do a kind of overview right now of all the warnings that are going on out there. So I'm going to use my warning hopper is what I'm calling it. My warning hopper, warning zoom. I got to come up with a name. Got to come up with a brand name for this thing. So these have all been updated here. So we can look at this one here. This is for Clinton, Illinois, Marion, Illinois. 60-mile-per-hour winds, hail size 1.25 inches for that one there. This one's over here toward Fairfield, Ohio, and Licking, Ohio, and Pickaway, Ohio. This is also 60-mile-per-hour winds and 3/4 inch hail with that one. Of course, there's that one right there. That's near Knox, Ohio. That is 60-mile-per-hour winds on that one, and 1 inch hail with that one. We go over to this one here. This is the bigger one here. This is for Alexander, Illinois, Franklin, Jackson, Johnson, Perry, Pulaski, Union, and Williamson. Also 60-mile-per-hour winds and 3/4 inch hail on that one showing up. Jefferson, Illinois, this is up to the north a little bit. Back that up a little bit. Sorry about that. There's that one. And that's Jefferson, Illinois, 60-mile-per-hour winds and 1 inch hail. So it's kind of good to get a perspective exactly what all these storms are doing as far as their scope and scale. That one we just did. Don't need to do that one twice. This is the new one that just came out ahead of this one. So 70-mile-per-hour winds and 3/4 inch hail. So that's for Caution and Muskogum, Ohio. That's a pretty big area there. You can see that right in the middle of that box coming on through. Again, 70-mile-per-hour winds and 3/4 inch hail. Now, this product that we're using right now with this, we are working on doing some map upgrades for this to kind of help with the overlay. So it's one of our improvements we hope to make with this map here is kind of our overview of what's going on in a specific area, especially when I'm kind of moving around. I think today is an excellent opportunity to use something like this, especially when you've got so many different warnings going on across a fairly large area. Let's see here. Oops.
New information. This special marine warning has been updated.
Special marine warning. That's probably up there for the lakes. I'm sure they're going to see a little bit of that. All right, let's go get off this and let's get back over to Radar Omega here. And we'll do that. We'll go back over to this. Kind of watching my big perspective. Even Canada's getting you got some warnings up here in Canada. You can even go up here and see they're getting some pretty good storms up here in northern Canada. So even southern Canada is getting hit with some pretty good weather as well. So again, this is an equal opportunity offender going through Canada all the way up to New York State, Michigan, Ohio, Illinois, and all the way back toward Texas. Everybody kind of getting under the gun with this severe weather for today. Again, I appreciate you guys checking out the coverage. If you haven't done so, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, hey, subscribe to the channel. It'd be nice to have you on board. All right, let's go back over here.
New information.
Knox, Ohio. That's new
warning has been
update there.
updated.
That is back over here. I believe that Knox is this one, I believe. It's got 7 minutes left on that one.
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
So what they're doing is they're continuing to update these warnings as these storms as they go by here a little bit. And these ones up here in Ohio, these have been really, really nasty. These have been producing the very gusty winds. Haven't looked at the winds here in a hot minute. Let's take another look here. Yeah, it's still looking very, very impressive. Look at all that yellow. That's 60-mile-per-hour winds plus. We've had 60-mile-per-hour winds being reported. You see a couple of them here behind here, like near Dublin had 60-mile-per-hour winds. Down near the airport had 60-mile-per-hour winds. Heaviest winds look like they're down here near the Lancaster area. Kind of wow, look at that, 81-mile-per-hour winds. Woo, that'll get you up. Of course, that's coming off the beam, but that's still relatively close. So that's some very, very impressive winds going through Lancaster right now. Probably getting ready to come into New Lexington. Very, very impressive indeed.
A new severe thunderstorm warning.
Pecos, Texas. All right, let's go check out Pecos, Texas here. Let's see which one's Pecos. It's probably
New
this
information.
one. I bet it's this one up here because this is the one I thought would go severe and was waiting on it. And that's Lubbock and Hockley. So it did go live on that one. So the one that I was waiting on to go severe when we did this one just a few minutes ago, they did light that one up. I kind of figured they would. And then, of course, we've got this one down here. Damage threat considerable. 2-inch size hail. Crane and Upton counties. Moving east at 25. So 2-inch hail and 70-mile-per-hour winds. That'll rearrange your house pretty good. Boy, I just tell you, it's not just that they've had a lot of hail out in Texas here in the last week. I just can't believe how concentrated it has been over such a prolonged period of time. I mean, they had multiple days last week. They had multiple days this week, and some very large hail. A couple of back-to-back days where they had 5-inch hail, which is just unheard of. Been a very active severe weather season out in Texas this year. Probably one of the busiest I've seen out there in a while. I mean, it just seems to be concentrated in that area. All right, still not up there. Let's go check. Let's see if they've done anything updated here up into Michigan yet. Not a whole lot. That one doesn't look too bad. This warning's about ready to fall out. So Casco, Marine City, Port Lambton, all kind of getting in on the action. Oop, got a little message here. Oh, you're so full of crud. You're so full of it. This is what I love getting these. I love these. Do you guys get these all the time? You see this? You see this right here? See your support center regarding your page that complete the verification process or clicking the link below. These are spammers, professional spammers. They send this out all the time, threatening to take your page down if you're non-compliant or whatever. And what gets me is that people fall for that crap. It just blows my mind. Now I try to be professional with these guys.
This severe thunderstorm warning
And
has been
what I
updated.
try to do, as I say, dear professional scammer, Meta and Facebook do not make contact with you in that manner. Please remove me from your distribution list. So I try to be cordial about it, but I still get probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 of those a day. See what Brad's camera looks like. I thought he was moving. No, I guess he's just staying put. I don't know why I thought he was moving. But look at all the concept. We're getting a lot of damage reports now starting to come in now behind this line. Yeah, the Dayton area here. We got a 2-inch tree down, multiple power lines down, 6-foot tall fence blow down. Yeah, I think all these large pine trees down. I think wait till we get through that. We get some more in there. We're going to see some more definitely coming through here as that squall line continues to move off toward the east. Very impressive with that. Back to reflect. Oh, get on the right one, dummy. There we go. Be nice if I get on the right radar. Yeah, for some reason, I probably need to reset Radar Mega because I'm not getting my alert tones, and those are usually a little bit faster than the actual alert system we have there. So let me do this real quick. I'm going to go to the wide zoom. Hold on one second. I'm going to go to Weather Tap real quick, and I'm going to reset my Radar Mega here real quick. So sometimes it gets stuck, and you just got to give it a little love.
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
I'm just going to reset my Radar Mega here real quick. There we are. We'll see if my alert tones come back. Let's check on this warning down here in northern Kentucky. Hasn't really changed much. I'm surprised these ones to the south haven't gone severe. They're probably borderline. Go back to Radar Mega here. Sorry about that. Oops. There we are. So we still got that one near Owenton here, but these ones here to the south are kind of jumping some pretty good rains. A little training going on there with the rain going over the same ground. So we'll continue to check on that. Let's go back here to Illinois. Watch update for Pennsylvania. All right, so we got new watch boxes that's been issued here for Pennsylvania. Let's go back here. Yep, there it is there. Let's go ahead and let's talk about that. Just got some new watch boxes that have just been issued now. And I'm going to zoom in here a little bit, kind of take you through this. So we got some new watches here now coming in toward New York State. This goes until 10 o'clock Eastern time. So from New York State down into Pennsylvania, goes till 10 o'clock and goes toward Ohio. So we just added these new watches here that just got alerted right through here. There's my alert tone back. Thank you. All right, so we got those new watch boxes that just got added. So there is our new severe thunderstorm warning just came out here on Radar Omega. Let's check on this one. We'll zoom in a little closer. So 3/4 inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. This is for southwestern White, southeastern Jefferson, northeastern Williamson, northern Saline, Hamilton County, and eastern Franklin. Goes till 3:15. So we just issued another warning here. Going to go until 10 o'clock tonight. So we got a very large area under the gun.
New information. This severe destructive thunderstorm warning has been updated.
That one's been updated. So we got a really it's got to be this one here.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
So we got a new warning. Where'd that one come out? Just heard the alert. Where'd that one come out? And kind of scanning here, kind of trying to stay on top of this. I don't see the alert. This was the one that had the 60-mile-per-hour winds, 40-mile-per-hour winds. Let's go back over here. Oh, there it is, over here. Okay, let's move back over to Ohio. Here it is. There was a new one. So here it is, 60-mile-per-hour winds. This is for Perry County and northwestern Morgan County. Goes until 4 o'clock. Severe thunderstorm was located along a line extending from 7 miles east of Somerset and moving east at 60 miles per hour. And I think the one they updated was this one. Oh, yeah. Ooh! That is nasty. 80-mile-per-hour winds. This is for Chocolate on Muskogum, moving east at 55. 80-mile-per-hour winds. That's like a EF0 tornado. This unbelievable winds in here. Look, check out the winds in this thing. Been very destructive. 80-mile-per-hour winds being detected in here.
Has been issued.
A little scan here. 71. I saw 78 there. So we're getting some wind gusts in here up to 80 miles per hour. I'm kind of scanning to see if I see any in here. Not seeing anything, but they did put that out. Storm relative velocity. Yeah, that's not helping. No, that's not a big help. So that is some very dangerous stuff right through there.
Thunderstorm warning has been
That's going to knock out some power. I mean, Zanesville and area in Acoshtown, they're going to be dealing with some power outages there. And what stinks is it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You know the kids are heading home from school, so that's going to be a bit of a problem. That's going to be definitely a big problem for those guys. So very impressive. But this line has had a long track history all the way back to Ohio. It's been like that. Been dealing with the very gusty and strong gusty winds, 80-mile-per-hour winds. That's going to knock down a lot of power. So we'll have to keep a watchful eye on that to see what any kind of damage reports in that area. And then we got this one down here. And I'm going to be watching this camera here as these storms to the west get a little bit closer. That's still a bit far away.
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
St. Clair, Michigan. So let's see what St. Clair, Michigan had an update. Let's see what they're saying. Oh, they just dropped that. That's what they did.
This severe thunderstorm warning.
So they just cut out this other one that was there. So now it's just a very small one up here. So that cell moved out I knew that cell was going to be gone before the warning got out. I was like, guys, that thing's moving too fast, guys. That was not very hot, not very sweet. I probably need to switch out this thing real quick. Let me do this real quick. Let me do this. Go studio mode here. I want to do this for all of mine. Need to have my severe weather crawl up, but not my general crawl. Just swapping these out real quick. There we are. There we go. Go back to studio mode here. All right. Well, look at all the damage reports. Like I said, you wait till we get all these in. You got all these wind reports coming here. Look at the damage reports here coming all the way through Dayton and now coming into Columbus. There's going to be quite a bit of damage reports through there. I'll always like to go back. Let me make sure this is on. I want to make sure this is staying on refresh here. Yep, it is. Okay. I always like to look at the satellite and the lightning data because it's a good indication of whether the storm intensity is going up if you're starting to see a more significant outbreak of those storms. So we're kind of watching the pockets here across Ohio, obviously, here coming in Illinois. And that looks dated to me. Hold on real second. I know it says it's not, but I think it is. Let me do a refresh on this one. I'm going to do a refresh on this one. So I'm going to reset this one because that looks a little bit dated to me. And let's enable switch and switch this over to there. Make sure that updates. Give it a quick second. And we'll come back. There it goes. All right, there it goes. And yeah, that's a little better. I thought it was a little dated. So let's stay on the radar here. So very heavy winds coming through that zone to southern Illinois. But these up here, man, talk about some monster winds. I mean, my Lord. Just some very, very heavy winds coming through here, through Warsaw, Coxshaw, Zanesville, Hopeville, just east of Columbus, Ohio. Just very, very intense winds through here. All of this is 60, 70 mile per hour coming through here. So some very strong gusty winds coming in through there just east of Ohio. Things have improved in Ohio now, but man, like here's Newark had a 61 mile per hour winds here in the ASOS station there at the Newark Heath Airport. So we know we're getting that. Thank you for the new subscriber, by the way. I just noticed I got a new subscriber. Thank you. I do appreciate it.
New information. This severe destructive thunderstorm warning has been updated.
Yep, they just updated. They keep updating this one. This one just got updated here. Yep, there it is. So what it's saying is the storm was located line extending from 8 miles south of Kilbook and near Dresden, moving near South Zanesville, moving east at 60. So extensive tree damage, widespread power outages, mobile homes could be heavily damaged with this. So this storms are meeting business. Expect considerable damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles. So they're not playing around here. So again, the people in the past here include New Concord, South Zanesville, Plainfield, Nellie, Norwich, Chandlerville, Bridgeville, all these towns to the east of Columbus under the gun as this line looks like it's kind of bowing out just a little bit here. It's kind of getting an upper level punch here coming on through. So that is definitely problematic for those people there. And these storms are heading in the general direction of Pittsburgh. So, man, we got to watch and see. And it's heading in that direction. So Pittsburgh could be next on the line here and be under the gun for this very shortly. So let me see here. So quite a bit of action here going across Ohio right now. Let's go back over here toward the storms over here in southern Illinois. So got another little cluster of storms. Each one of these clusters are probably being set off by probably a little cold pocket of energy in the upper levels of the atmosphere. When you get a cold pocket like that, and you get the instability like we're at max heating in the afternoon, it's very easy for that column of air to rise and kind of get you those thunderstorms to develop. And they get invigorated with the daytime heating. So the air is pretty buoyant and allows it to go up, and we get some additional stuff there.
This severe thunderstorm warning has been
updated. Let's pick away in
updated.
Ohio. Let's go back over here. Kind of these storms are kind of falling in between, but they're kind of getting closer to the Pittsburgh radar. So why don't we switch over to the Pittsburgh radar here and watch this. Again, these are the scales that mean business, and it's on a B path for Pittsburgh. So hopefully those guys in Pittsburgh are ready for what's coming at them. These storms hold their vigor in us. It's going to be quite impressive, which is very interesting because this is exactly where the weather, where the high wind area was showing up the greatest threat for today. When you look at the weather-wise here, so look at where the wind profile was the highest. Boom, right there. So again, right where those storms are kind of flaring up and going through. Yeah, that's obviously where the highest wind damage right here, running about 30%. So it's running right into that zone where those thunderstorms are, right through there.
New information. This severe, considerable, destructive thunderstorm warning has been updated.
All right, so let's go back over here to my radar here.
A new
Got any weather-related questions, or
or
you got anything concerned? Don't hesitate to go ahead and put those down in the chat column. And I need to go to the restroom real quick, so because I drank this diet soda. I actually had a big one before then. So give me 1 second here for a second, and I will be right back. Just give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I'm not going nowhere. Stay tuned. Yes, I came back in front of my camera. All righty. I don't, some of these younger guys out there who are doing their wall to wall, they probably got, I'm 55 years old almost, so the bladder don't hold on as well as it used to back in the day. So anyway, let's go ahead and focus in on this line. I really want to focus in on the wind energy that's been really very constructive here.
New information.
Going along this boundary. So let me go back over the weather wall here. As we've got this very impressive line. It's looking like it's getting a little more impressive too. So hold on a second. Let me get this up so I can actually do this. I didn't put my monitor over here real quick, so let me just drag that over real quick. All right, there we go. So again, so right we're seeing right here, you see this is from the Pittsburgh radar. So this boundary line right in here, this is to set up that significant weather event here. They're talking 80-mile-per-hour winds that are blowing through here. So I guess that's called Koshutan there. Warsaw's probably had it. Zanesville's probably already had it. So anywhere along that boundary, we're getting 70, 80-mile-per-hour winds. And this is pushing very ways. It's almost like dropping a big rock in a pond. It's just kind of being pushed by the upper-level wind dynamics. So as this continues to move off toward the east, all these little towns out ahead of this are going to be seeing that kind of stuff. Probably a lot of power outages with this. Some damage, some roof damage could definitely be in control with some of this stuff as well. And this is heading toward the Pittsburgh area. So this track, I want to watch this closely over the next couple hours here as it continues to move off toward the east. Pittsburgh could be in the path of some of this and could be causing some
new information.
Real headaches, some real problems for those guys.
Has been updated.
All right, got a new warning that's been updated here. So let me switch back over to reflectivity mode here.
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
All right, this is back. This up here toward the Illinois warning area. So let me go switch back over here. Hello, make sure I'm back over here. And no, we're going to keep watching the storm chasers out. All the storm chasers are out in Texas right now. They're just going to intercept. They're not really near anything just yet, but they're getting closer. So this one's only got a couple more minutes. We're going to get a new warning here very shortly. It's going to cover this area here very, very soon. As if that's getting toward the tail end of its run right now. And I keep going back to this camera because I want to see what the sky conditions are doing here. It's a pretty close camera nearby.
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning
That's
has
in
been
New
updated.
York. Let's go check out what's going on up in New York. Let's see here. They've updated this one. Let's take a look here. It's still a pretty potent little storm. Ping pong size hail. Wow, that's pretty impressive. Only got 16 minutes left on that one. That's Livingston and southeastern Genesee County, I guess it is. 60-mile-per-hour winds, moving northeast at 45. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so at this time. Thank you very much, and help our little channel out. There's our new warning. I was waiting on this one. There's our new warning. Just came out. We were just having to be on it. So this is for 80-mile-per-hour winds, very destructive. Again, this is in the path heading right toward the Pittsburgh area soon. This is for Harrison County, Guernsey County, eastern Coshocton, eastern Muscombe, western Carroll, northwestern Belmont, and I think that's Tuscarawas until 4:30.
Has been issued.
These storms moving east at 55 miles per hour, wind gusts to 80 miles per hour. So that's the alert tone for that. And this is, again, we're not too far from Pittsburgh. So let's check out the mileage here as far as the distance. I mean, there's the Little Rivers area over to this. That's about 90 miles away. So it's moving at 55 miles per hour. So do the math. So maybe about an hour and a half, roughly. We could be getting into the Pittsburgh area, and if it continues to hold its wind speed threat on this, we could be seeing some 80-mile-per-hour winds, hurricane force winds blowing into the Pittsburgh area here within the next couple of hours. So I will tell anybody that's in the warning zone areas what you guys, if you're not being hit right now and you know some storms are coming your way, the best advice I always tell folks is make sure their trash cans are secured, make sure their lawn furniture is put away, and just make sure you got stuff that's won't get blown into your neighbor's yard and cause damage to your own house or somebody else's. That's the big thing you want to do. One time I remember I couldn't take my lawn furniture down. I had a big storm came up and took my umbrella out down. We never did find it. I think we found, well, my kids did find it like a couple of days later. It was somebody's backyard, but that's definitely something you want to go ahead and do. So we got several clusters of these storms we're watching. Again, you got this big cluster here, almost like an own little MCS right through here. That's one big cluster. And then we got another cluster, although this one looks like it's losing a little bit of its punch. It's only got one warning associated with this. This one down here in southern Illinois, going to be coming into Kentucky. But again, we're at max daytime heating, so this stuff could come up a little bit more later. And then finally, we have these storms back over here. These are kind of look a little more individualistic. Your classic, more your severe thunderstorms, your supercell storms down here toward Texas. We got a couple of them down here in South Texas here, and then over here south near the Lubbock area. I'm seeing these two down here. And these are also very large hailers, 1.5-inch hail there, golf ball size hail there. So this is where the storm chasers are. The chasers are all over here. They're kind of just waiting for the storm. So we'll see if they get any action a little bit later.
New information. This severe destructive thunderstorm warning has been updated.
Yeah, that's the one they just updated. So let's go back to this again, see if they've updated anything here. So again, extensive tree damage, widespread power outages are expected with this storm. Again, the people in the path of this thing are New Philadelphia, Dover, Cambridge, Barnesville, Freeport, Sugar Creek, Antrim, Melbourne, I think it's Bolivar, and Flushing. Hope I'm saying that correctly. So got a lot of stuff going on there. And that has got a beeline for Pittsburgh. So I'm really concerned about Pittsburgh. I'm sure Pittsburgh is going to be going, their TV stations will be doing wall-to-wall coverage on that. I tell you, I used to love those days in the TV, working in television, because at least when you are in TV, you typically had one or two people there to support you to kind of hand off, or you had to go to a bathroom break or do something like that. You can hand it off to somebody, but that's not always the case. Let me go ahead and take this down here a little bit. There we go. So this is going to mean real business in here. Again, I'm going to watch the velocity mode on these winds coming on through. In fact, we'll go ahead and highlight some of this in here. Again, there's 76-mile-per-hour winds, 78-mile-per-hour winds in here, 82-mile-per-hour winds, 87-mile-per-hour winds. So again, we're talking some serious winds here blowing through here, up to Cat 1 hurricane winds being blown with this storm system. A very strong, complex storm. You notice it's kind of arcing a little bit in here. So it's getting a upper level push here coming up from above. And that is what's driving that little complex of storms off toward the east, and it's making a beeline for
New
Pittsburgh.
information. This severe thunderstorm
Yikes.
warning has been updated.
That's some serious stuff. That is some serious storms there moving off toward the east. Any more? Oh, hey, this six guy. Sorry I didn't see your posting there. Any more bad weather for Cincinnati, Ohio? Well, let's go take a look. You still got these storms back off towards your east. So you see these complex storms here. So I'd say you're not quite out of the woods yet. Depends on what this storm system does here. So is it going to catch Cincinnati or not? I think it will. There's a chance, but it's going to be later tonight before it comes on up your way. So just be watchful of that there. This stinks guy. This guy stinks, I should say. I'm sorry. I'm dyslexic. But I don't think you're out of the woods yet. You got to watch out what this little complex of storms is going to do.
This severe considerable destructive thunderstorm warning has been updated.
I think that's the one there south of Odessa.
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
Oh, that'll go hail on that sucker. Woo, 70-mile-per-hour winds. Damage threat considerable. Yeah, that one just got in.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
That's up in New York. So let's go back up to New York. Yep, there it is. Let's go up to New York. We got a new warning up here in New York. Again, near the Buffalo area. Some of these storms going severe. So this is 1-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds, Wyoming County, southeastern Erie County, and south central Genesee County. I'm not even sure if I'm saying that correctly. Goes till 4:45. Severe thunderstorm was located near Wales Center or near East Aurora, moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. So that's what we're seeing on that one. Got multiple storms here. Look at, even got these ones. Even you got this is technically into Canada. This is in New York. This here, of course, is Ohio. Multiple complexes of storms. The most pressing of the one is the one here that's into eastern Ohio, racing toward Pittsburgh. Because I'm telling you, man, those guys in Pittsburgh are going to get hammered. These guys in Pittsburgh are going to get it. But hey, I appreciate you asking the question there. And if anybody's got any questions, if you got anything, please let me know. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and help our little channel out. It's really what I really don't like when we're getting this kind of mode like this. And I understand the algorithm game with YouTube and stuff like that. And you want to try to eat advertising is probably the name of the game. But don't sit there and make it to where you don't even get considered as a choice for the said viewer. We got a new warning that's back up here.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
That one's Wyoming. Did I see that right? Oh, there they are. Here you got two of them right here across southern Illinois and into Indiana. So we got two of them. Let's do this one here and this one first. 50 mile per hour is 1-inch hail. This is for northern Martin County, western Lawrence County, southeastern Greene, and southeastern Davies, and southeastern Indiana goes to 445. That's moving northeast at 25. And then this other one, which is a part of that main line we've been watching for a while, 3/4 inch hail, 60 mile per hour winds. This is for northwestern White County, southwestern Wayne County, southeastern Jefferson, and northern Hamilton goes till 315. So moving east at 50 miles per hour.
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
So what I probably need to start doing, like this morning we had severe weather that was going through Ohio and stuff, and I know the big channels were not broadcasting. Those are going to be the opportunities where I need to start broadcasting. So when I broadcast my severe weather coverage, if I want to get people to kind of like this product that we put together here, I need to try to do it during times when the big guys are not broadcasting. Because when they're broadcasting, very, very difficult. The algorithm will not give you any kind of credence at all for your coverage. It kind of stinks. But let's get back here to coverage time. As still, I want to check. Oh, that's getting really close. Let's see what this camera looks like. The sky's getting a little darker there, getting a little more light. You got a pretty good heavy rain shower here, cutting real close. You can kind of see that right through there. Yeah, it's definitely looking a little more ominous there.
New information. This severe destructive thunderstorm warning has been
And we're getting some more reports here behind this line here. Let's see, trees and wires down. This is from that main cell, tree down, 911 call center. So we're starting to see some damage reports coming with this main line that's getting closer and closer to Pittsburgh. So this one's just been updated here. Let's see if it's got anything here that's been updated here. No, they didn't show an update there. 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts, radar indicated. Oof. Yikes. That's going to rearrange some houses. Got a new warning again. Let's back out. Let's see where we're getting. Oh, down here toward Texas. Let's go down to Texas. Like I said, big area to cover. This one's not been moving all that fast. What a weird box. 70-mile-per-hour winds. So we're looking at northeastern Pecos, southeastern Crane, southwestern Upton goes till 4 o'clock. Storm is moving east at 15. So this one's not moving very fast at all. 70-mile-per-hour winds and 2-inch hail on that one.
New information.
Seeing some
this
of the
severe
winds.
thunderstorm warning has been updated.
I want to see the VIL on this one. Yeah, look at the hail core bullseye on that. I guarantee 2-inch hail. Yeah, you probably getting it.
Severe thunderstorm warning.
It looks like it's falling out in no man's land, but you got McCamey nearby. So if that goes into that little township there, it's moving in that direction. So probably gonna get some very gusty, some strong winds, and some large hail blowing into that area here pretty soon.
A new considerable destructive thunderstorm warning has been issued.
That's the one we just did. Gonna watch this one at Pittsburgh. This is the one I'm really hoping it loses a little bit of its punch. I'm really hoping it is a little bit better for that. So it's getting, it's about 80 miles out, roughly, 80, 85 miles out from getting into Pittsburgh. So those guys in Pittsburgh are really going to get blasted here pretty soon. Let's go shift off that a little bit. That is going to do some problems. All right. Let's go check up here to the north. I want to check this stuff up near New York State, up near Buffalo. We've had these nice little storms that have been pretty decent. So they've been dumping some hail and some very gusty winds in here. South of Rochester. This is normally when I look at the radar in this part, all I can think of is the lake effect snow season when they get the heavy winter snows through there. This is getting pretty close to Evansville. Evansville is about ready to get hit. Carmi, Mount Vernon, Hendersonville, Morgantown, all this area here. It's got a pretty impressive squall line coming through here. That's the other little MCS there moving through. Oh, new warning. Got 2 new warnings. All right, well, let's do this one first. Then we'll do the one in Kentucky. So this is for
a new severe thunderstorm warning
northeastern Knox, northwestern Martin, southern Greene, northern Davies till 4:45. The storm is moving northeast at 25.
This flash flood
and then we got this other one over here. This one just came out. I'll switch radars. And I got another one up there. Got 3 new warnings. I'm trying to stay on top of these. This is northeastern Scott County and north central Bourbon County and Nicholas County and Harrison County until 4:30. That's north of the Lexington area there on that warning. See that one. And then we got another warning back up here. This one just came out over here. Let me switch radars real quick. So this one is for southeastern Perry and Morgan County, goes to 4:30. And that one is moving east at 50 miles per hour. So we got 18 different warnings out there. At least we do not have, thankfully, not a lot of, we have not any tornado warnings out there today. So that's good. But really, with this one,
a new severe thunderstorm warning
in a way, this complex of storm could be more destructive than, say, a tornado warning because it is a large area of 80-mile-per-hour winds racing out ahead of it covering a much larger area. So in a way, this particular storm that we're tracking right here, heading toward the Pennsylvania line, could be more destructive just than an individual tornado would be. Let's see here. Okay, these are both back toward Texas. So let's check out this one here first. This is moving through the Lubbock area. Golf ball size hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. This is for central Lubbock County until 3:30. And the storm is moving northeast at 25 on that one. And then we got this other one down here to the south.
A new considerable destructive thunderstorm warning.
This one's also 2-inch size hail coming in there. This is for northwestern Crockett County. Goes till 3:45. This is moving east at 25. And thank you for that new subscriber, by the way. Thank you very much. Saw that. We just added another one. Always good to add a new subscriber. But look at all of those warnings, folks. My Lord, look at the size of that stuff. I mean, we're talking New York, Canada, Ohio, Kentucky, Indiana, Illinois, Texas. I mean, we're talking multiple steps here getting hit pretty good here with this severe weather outbreak here for today, covering a very, very large area. My main concern continues to be the Pittsburgh storm because that has had the most destructive winds through there. Oop, new alert. All right, oops, back this one up. This is getting near the Evansville area now, getting very close to Evansville. So this is White County in southeastern Illinois, northeastern Saline, eastern Hamilton, northern Gallatin, and Posse County. Goes till 3:45. Storm is located a line extending from 7 miles northern of McLeansboro, and this is moving east at 50 miles per hour. This one says possible tornado. Let me look at the velocity on this one. Okay, so when they say possible tornado, whenever they put that in there, and we just hit 100 views today. Thank you very much. We just hit that, a little 100 views. A little bit better than it was yesterday. We were having a hard time getting some views yesterday. But again, whenever you get a squall line like this, you see this kind of moving, making an S shape. Whenever that happens, is that what happens sometimes is you'll get a possible spin up in there. So that's what that's showing in there when you see that S configuration kind of coming through there. So got to watch that closely just in case you get a spin up. You never know.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued. A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
This is up in New York. Let's go up here. I think it's this northern one here. Yep, they just issued that one.
Warning.
Yep.
A new special marine warning.
This is for northwestern Wayne County and central Monroe County in western New York. Goes till 4:45. The storm is moving east at 50 miles per hour. Again, 60-mile-per-hour winds, quarter-size hail with that one. So this is for these cells across New York. So we got 3 different warnings up here in upstate New York. Rochester, Golden, at least it's saying south of Buffalo so far. That's good news there. But these are little potent storms. Got a new warning here near Pittsburgh. So let's talk about this one down to south of Pittsburgh, I should say. 3/4-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. This is for Monroe County and southern Belmont County and Noble
This
County.
severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
That goes until 5 o'clock. Storm was near Bryersville and moving east at 50 miles per hour.
Thunderstorm warning has been issued.
So again, these storms are meaning business and closing in fast on the Ohio-Pittsburgh line. Very impressive with the storms moving on in here. And that continues to move off toward the east. Again, these are moving in about 55 miles per hour. So it tells me whenever you see a line of storms moving at that rate of speed, that means you've got some very strong jet energy above the surface that's pushing it along. I mean, it's not like pushing a boat in the water, and it just kind of plows everything out ahead of it. And that's why you get these very strong gusty winds like we've had with this one up to 80 miles per hour.
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
That's over here toward Illinois. Let's see what's anything different over here. This is getting awfully close. Let's see what this camera is showing. There you can kind of see some of the heavy downpour coming through. Although this is not the strongest part of the line. That's up to the north. But they're going to get some pretty heavy winds, some some gusty wind, some rain blowing through there. Oops, seen a little bit of lightning. Yeah, saw a little lightning without. That's down here just north of Paducah. I wonder if Evansville's got any cameras. Let me look. I've not looked there. Let's see if Evansville's got any in there. At Princeton, Indiana. Nope, I was just checking. I want to see if they had anything in that area.
New information. This severe thunderstorm
That's for
warning
the
has
New
been
York ones. We
updated.
just did those. All the chasers are all over here to the east. They're not. Let's see what Connor's saying here. Let's see what the sky can. Yeah, the skies are looking a lot more scary. That's for sure. Out there in Texas, getting a little more robust out there. And continue to watch the evolution of these storms. I always like to check back on the satellite imagery here, and that is that's pretty new. That's not bad. I want to make sure this is updating correctly. There we go. That's better. So you see all the lightning really starting to spread out, and almost every one of these lightnings that you see in here, almost all of them in some degree are severe in some form. I mean, we're talking 2,000 miles from one end to the other on this.
This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
So it is definitely
New information. This severe thunderstorm
That's
warning
Indiana.
has been updated.
The other thing I look for when I'm looking at thunderstorms, I'm looking to see if their lightning data is going up in a specific storm. Typically, that means you got hail going up in an area, and you're also looking at the storm potentially intensifying some. Kind of interesting how this is working. You got these storms. It almost looks like a mini cold front. You can almost like draw a mesocyclone here. That's your warm front. Here's your cold front, because it's a little vortex. That's probably setting that off. Yeah. So you get a little spin here. It's like a little mini low pressure system. It's right along that boundary and along where it bows out. That's where the heaviest winds are going to
New
be.
information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated. All right, let's double check. I want checking some stuff with the SPC real quick. Just want to see what they've got, any updates of any significance that you guys need to be aware of. So just bear with me for a second while I'm looking at some stuff. Oh, that's gone. Okay, no problem there. Warning, a new special marine warning has been issued.
Somebody gave you a thumbs up on something I posted earlier. Oh, that's funny. Can't help that. Again, if you're watching, if you're new to the channel, if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing and making me one of your many resources out there in the YouTube universe. It'd be a pleasure to be one of your sources. Get into kind of watching this big weather day here as we've got this very, very large system here. And I'm going to pull this out from this map here to kind of show you the extensiveness of the storm, stretching all the way from New York all the way back toward Texas. As this cold front's moving in from the east, you kind of see that pushing this way. Oops, give me my little roller here, so you can see it pushing off that way. So here's our frontal system, and boy, do we got a lot of activity right up along this thing, covering 2,000 miles, a very large stretch of severe weather coming across the middle of the country, thanks to this frontal system. and it's definitely responsible for setting up. There's multiple disturbances that are riding along that boundary, and where those disturbances are lining up, that's where the kind of a little energetic enhancement of those storms is taking place. And that's what we're seeing here across this zone. The one that's got me most pressing is, though, the one that's approaching the Pittsburgh area. This one has got a history of producing some 80-mile-per-hour winds. It's getting awfully close to the state line now. That's coming on through York and Newtown. I've seen some more damage reports coming in behind this now. Numerous tree limbs down across Cambridge Road. This is tree wires down. Seeing some more. Here's another one up here. Trees and power lines down. So I'm sure the power outages here have got to be going up into Ohio. I have not checked that in a hot minute, so let's check that real quick. The state power outages here.
New information. This special marine
let's
warning
see.
has been updated.
Oh, wow. Big jump. That's a 20,000 jump from the last time. To 47,000 people now, almost 1% of the customers in Ohio are without power thanks to that line. This is the main culprit. This guy right here is definitely responsible for a lot of those power outages taking place. And we can turn on the county ones here. And you can kind of get an idea. See here, I want to turn this off real quick. So this is where all the power outages are all clustered. You can see the outages in here. So 770, 2,000 there, 4,000 there. Again, just kind of get an idea of how many power outages behind this system, 546. So you clearly see that as this thing's intensified, it is definitely knocking a lot of power out in its path, in its
New
wake.
information. This severe destructive thunderstorm warning has been updated.
That is for the Pecos storm. That's because I got some big hail on that one. I mean, just very large hail. But this is the one that's going to cause the most headache. 80-mile-per-hour winds, destructive path. This one was just updated. So this is northwestern Belmont, eastern Tuscarawas counties. The storm is located east of Sparta, 6 miles northwest of Freeport. It's moving northeast at 60 miles per hour. Again, very, very strong winds, 80-mile-per-hour winds with this thing as it's going. We're going to have a new warning here, issued here pretty soon. It's probably going to take it right to the state line here very soon because these are moving at such a fast rate of speed, and they seem to be accelerating. So when a storm starts to accelerate, that means that wind energy with it is really starting to race out ahead of it. So again, this is going to be very destructive in here. Let me go over to velocity mode again. I want to kind of highlight some of the winds that go in here through New Philadelphia, up to Yorksville and stuff. I mean, these are some very gusty. Wow, I saw that up there. 90-mile-per-hour winds. Wow. That is just some very, just 86, 91 mile per hour winds. So we're looking at hurricane force winds that are going to be blowing through this area. Right now, making a beeline for the city of Pittsburgh. This is very, very destructive. 91 mile per hour winds. That's the highest I've seen whenever I've scanned this thing now. And so we're getting some very, very powerful winds that are moving in here, closing in on Pittsburgh. Let's do a distance check on this.
A new flash flood warning has been issued.
Again, kind of showing the distance. We're down to 62 miles now. So at the rate that's moving, it's now almost 4:15. So within about an hour, by about 5:15, at the current speed it's moving, we're going to have these very destructive winds, 80 mile per hour plus winds. So in a way, even though this is not producing tornadoes, it's producing very large gusty winds covering a very large area. So it's going to be knocking out power and causing damage over a larger swath than a localized tornado could. So we're going to continue to watch that one closely here. We do have our tornado warning here. Wow, we've been we haven't had one here in a while today. We do have a tornado warning here. And this was the one I was highlighting a little while ago. The fact that we thought we might see
New
something like
information.
this.
This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
So hold on one second. I want to get this switched back over here. There we are.
A new
So we got a
radar
tornado warning
indicating
here. This is on the
tornado
northern
warning
part of
has
this
been
line. I just mentioned this a little while ago when I was highlighting this. This is for southeastern Wayne County and south central Illinois. This tornado is radar indicated, 7 miles southwest of Fairfield, moving northeast at 45. So I'm going to go over to velocity mode and see what's going on in here to take a look. Yeah, right along that line. Here it is, showing up very well. I need to go over to my weather wall real quick, okay? Let's go over to the wall. Let me get this checked up for you. Hold on one second. So we're looking right in here. So we're looking right in here. Potential spin up tornado here heading in this there. Fairfield, Golden Gate in here. So we got tornado warning here. Something trying to spin up right in this zone and moving up this way to looks like County Road 15 and Highway 45 heading up toward Fairfield. So folks need to take immediate shelter if you're in this part of the area under this tornado warning. I was mentioning this earlier that when that initial watch was first put out, it looked like that's moved off toward the east. So I'm going to watch that. Let me look at the winds in here. Showing 17 miles away, 22 miles away. 91 mile per hour, 96. Wow, that's got some very, very strong winds in there. Very strong winds in there. So hopefully folks are taking shelter on that storm. The city of Fairfield is in the path of this. And again, you see all the little roads and stuff in here. So we know it's a populated area in here. See all the roads in there. And this is coming in from the south. So this is coming in very quickly. See it racing up to the north there. So it'll be over them in a matter of minutes. Potential tornado here. If not tornadoes, at least some very strong gusty winds coming in here. So again, remember where you got to go for something like that. That is the lowest floor, a basement, obviously, interior hallway, closet. Idea is to try to put as many spaces between you and the outside whenever you get a tornado warning. Wherever you're out in the country, that's what you got to do. And that's what we're seeing right here with this storm system right here coming in. Again, it's embedded in a squall line. So, and looking at the radar signature on this one as well, it's probably rain wrapped, which means you're not going to be able to see it. It's going to be right on your front door here pretty quickly with this tornado coming in toward Fairfield, the town of Fairfield. It looks like some pretty good lightning with this as well. Looks like here, let me freeze this on the last image here. I'm going to freeze it right there. It appears to be maybe some sort of inflow notch here, trying on the backside in here. Just looking at the reflectivity, it's kind of hard to see, but definitely something in there. I'm going to go to a higher lights here. Go to black. So something right in here is where I'm talking about.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
So let's pull on back on a new severe thunderstorm warning here. Where's that one? I just heard it alert. Where'd that one goes? Okay, this is getting near Pittsburgh now. This is getting very close. So this is getting just outside of Pittsburgh. They just put out a huge, humongous box here. So we're tracking a tornado as well as a very complex storm with some 80 mile per hour winds. This is one of the largest boxes I've seen. East Central Guernsey, Carroll County, Tuscarawas County, Noble County, Harrison County, Jefferson County, Columbia County, Belmont, Beaver, West Central Allegheny, Western Washington, Southwestern Lawrence, Ohio County, Marshall County. I mean, this is almost like a severe thunderstorm watch. It's so big, just humongous. So again, this is the problem with this is we're looking at a very dangerous MCS here in some form or fashion. You see it kind of pushing out here. You got the winds pushing this thing out ahead of it very strongly. And this is going to be causing a lot of headache and knocking out a lot of power. That's the alert for this storm right here. Again, 80 mile per hour winds. Let's go look here again. When I was checking this just a few minutes ago, we had 90 mile per hour winds being detected in here. And anywhere in that blue is where we're seeing that. So when I was scanning in here a while ago, there's one right there, 93 mile per hour winds. I mean, wow, that's just amazing. Right near the, I think that's Urichville. I think that's what that is right there. They're getting Category 1 hurricane, strong Category 1 hurricane winds blowing in. This is going to knock out a tremendous amount of power across Ohio and getting into the Pittsburgh area. And that's the big thing. This thing is heading right directly for the town of the city of Pittsburgh, a major metropolitan area here. And it's going to get hit within the hour. Within the hour, Pittsburgh is going to get hit with these 80 mile per hour winds. Again, I appreciate everybody checking out the channel. If you've not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. Help our little channel out. And I do appreciate being one of your weather choices out there in the YouTube universe.
New information. This severe considerable.
Let's go back over here to the tornado warning. I want to watch this again. It's getting awfully close to Fairfield. Looks like it's almost right on top of them. Let's go to the velocity mode again. Yeah, just to the south. Looks like it's just bearing just to the south of the Fairfield area. Getting ready to cross 45. So any kind of spin up looks like right in there. It is radar indicated. This is not a real textbook looking signature as far as the velocity mode is concerned, but that's where it currently is. So hopefully folks in Fairfield are taking this to heart, because even regardless of it, again, when I was scanning this, again, look at some of the winds in here. You're looking at 80 mile per hour winds in here. So very, very strong winds here showing up here. 85 mile per hour winds. So some very strong winds in here with that cell as well. So they're updating the watch box here across Ohio a little bit. Here's a new severe thunderstorm warning. We're right here. Might as well go ahead and do it, right? Might as well. So this is for western Lawrence and southeastern Richland, goes until 3:45. Severe thunderstorm was located near Parksburg, or 9 miles southeast of Olney, moving northeast at 30 miles per hour. So we get just unreal. We're up to 19 warnings and 1 tornado warning right now. That's our first tornado warning we've had of the day. I'm not sure if we had one earlier. I don't think we did. But just amazing. So we got 2 MCSs, or really they're vortexes, little upper level disturbances in here. Okay, you can almost think of this one as like a mini cold front, okay, or mini storm system. Let me just make this a little bit bigger so you can see this. So you got your low pressure system like right here. You got just like a trailing cold front, and then you got like a warm front like there. So that is like a mini little storm system there. And then you got another one kind of similar, just like it over here. Again, very similar in nature. You got a little low in here. Oops, I don't know why it keeps going down to the lower one, but let's make that a little bigger. Like a little low, and here's your little front, and then you got a little storm system like that. So they're like little itty bitty storm systems, and they enhance the instability and the convective nature of the storm that's running along that boundary. Getting a new scan here from the Pittsburgh radar. Let's go ahead and stay on top. Now, hopefully, here's my other concern. These 80 mile per hour winds are heading directly for that radar. Hopefully that radar is in good condition and does not get knocked out. That's one of the concerns, obviously, as this thing heads on to it. And boy, this is updating quickly. As it's getting ready to move into that new warning box area. That warning is there's a humongous box taking over that area.
New information. This severe destructive
that's
thunderstorm
this one.
warning has been updated.
This is one they just updated here. So let's see what it's talking about here. It's just
New
highlighting the
information.
towns.
This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
They're telling folks to treat this almost like a tornado warning. In a sense, it really is. I mean, just a very large area with some very strong winds in here. So quite substantial. Let's go back over to southern Illinois. Still check on this tornado warning back over toward the Fairfield area. I want to double check this one here. Let's check the storm relative velocity on this. Yeah, you still got the rotation going on in there. Let me zoom this out and kind of loop this again for you. See, it's still spinning. So very broad. So I think it's probably a rotating straw wall cloud with this. It's a little bit too broad out, I think, on that to be a tornado on the ground. So it's still radar indicated, and it's again right in that boundary of the squall line. You see the heavy winds going right through here. See the heavy winds are just gusting right up through here. You see just kind of looping right through. Again, that snake motion along a squall line, that's what gives the initial spin ups. They tend to be short lived. They don't last very long, but you can definitely get a potential tornado to drop down on you. And that one's clearly been rain wrapped bigger than hell.
New information. This tornado warning has been updated.
New severe thunderstorm warning. Let's go check this one out. This one's in northern Kentucky. All right, let's go check this one out. 1-inch size hail, 60 mile per hour winds. This is for northern Nicholas and east central Harrison. Goes until 4:45. Severe thunderstorm was located east of Cynthiana, moving east at 35. Got another warning out. Where's that one? This one's up in New York. Seeing some damage reports up here in New York too from those storms earlier. So this is 3/4 inch hail, 60 mile per hour winds. This is for northeastern Wyoming, northern Livingston, southeastern Genesee, south central Monroe, and west central Ontario. It goes until 5:15. Storm is moving northeast at 45. I see a couple of damage reports in here. Let's see. Trees, power lines, poles down in the town of York. And trees, power lines down here as well. So we're getting some power outages up in New York State too. And we got 4 warnings there in New York. All right there, right through the Rochester area.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
It's still got them into Canada too. And this one near here, look at all these damage reports. Look at all of these reports, these wind damage reports, all clustered in here. Just a humongous number of them. In fact, I got to look at the storm report map now. Oh yeah, I took a major jump. Wow! I think the last time I looked at it, it was about an hour ago. I checked that. I think it was like about 47. Now it's up to 151. Wow! Big jump on the storm report damage. 128 wind damage reports, 23 hail reports. No tornadoes officially, but a very big jump in the wind damage report coming up on this from just the last hour. So it's definitely living up to the hype, because this was the target zone. That's the wind damage threat in that red zone, and that is where we're seeing a lot of these wind damage reports coming in. But getting very close to Pittsburgh right now. Not too far away. I want to look, see, I don't think this had a lot of hail with this. Last time I looked, it didn't look all that impressive with the hail. There's some decent hail in there, especially where it's bowed out. We got they're probably getting 1 inch hail in there. They're not the gray off the chart kind, but you are getting some hail in there. The big threat for this is just going to be those winds. Those unbelievable winds are going to be very, very bad. And we're getting awfully close to cross out of Pennsylvania, out of Ohio and into Pennsylvania. This right here is the state line. So here's the state line of Pennsylvania, Ohio, and these storms are not that far away. From the state line, you're only about 22 miles away. So very close crossing Ohio and going into Pennsylvania here. Again, 80-mile-per-hour winds, and when you see damage threat assessment says destructive, boy, you know you got some big things to worry about there. So again, it's all up and down that boundary. Whoops, let me turn that off real quick and get this back here a little bit. I'll pull that out.
New information. This severe destructive thunderstorm warning has been updated.
Again, where this is going out, and that's alert is for this squall line here. Very impressive storm system here. Again, you see the squall line all edging on out here. Very sharp dividing line here. The wind is rushing out ahead of it. It's getting there's strong upper level winds pushing this thing from west to east, pushing in at a very fast rate. So the storm is accelerating. When I was tracking it earlier, it was about 50 miles per hour. Then went to 55. Now it's up to 60 mile per hour motion. So it's moving almost at interstate speed. So it'll be crossing the line here. We were estimating an arrival here in Pittsburgh sometime around 5:15, and that looks like that's probably going to be pretty close. So again, coming through CAD-S, but it's where it's bowed out the worst, right in here. This is probably where the strongest winds are as this is pushing on out. And what I've been seeing on the velocity mode in here has been 90-mile-per-hour winds that have been blowing through here. So as Weirton's probably going to get directed, and again, I'm very concerned. I mean, you do the extemporation here. You can see this. Okay, it's going to be moving right in across the state line and going into Pittsburgh here proper. So going right through the heart of a major metropolitan area. I've actually been to Pittsburgh a couple of times for the military, not really for any kind of fun, but nothing like going to a MEP station. But anyway, I digress. But again, this is very serious. It's going to knock out a lot of power for stuff. I really hope anybody in Pittsburgh, if you happen to be the one people here watching our channel, please take to heart what you got to do right now. That lawn furniture, trash cans, anything you need to secure, get your cars inside. This means business. This is going to cause a lot of headaches for the city of Pittsburgh tonight. We're going to be looking at substantial power outages, and going to be, and they may be out for a while. You know, this is a significant MCS. We got a tornado warning just popped here. All right, let's go take a look. Tornado warning just came out. Radar indicated. This is for southeastern Carroll County. Again, where the line bows out, that is not a surprise. I mentioned that on the other storm system. Okay, this is for a lot of counties here: southeastern Columbiana, eastern Harrison, Jefferson, northeastern Washington. What I think they're doing here, let me switch over to velocity here, and I need to go back over to the wall. Okay, yeah, all right. Let me explain what's going on here. I need to go over to the wall. All right, let me show you what's going on here. All right.
Information.
You see the little eddy here kind of spinning back here. You see it spinning in here. Anywhere along this line, we're getting winds up to 80 to 90 miles per hour. Wherever you get it looped back in here like this, you're going to get tornadoes that are going to spin up. So we got multiple, and that's why this thing's so doggone big. So you see that they're switching over to the scan here. So right near the Hopdale area, even up here, I would say possible tornadoes. But anywhere along this line where you see these little indentions could be vortices that are kind of spinning up along this line. It's still going to be strong gusty winds. That's going to be the main threat. I wouldn't even be worried about just, well, look, here's tornado here. No, it's the whole thing, not just one specific zone. It is really the whole thing, because this whole thing moving this way is going to be setting off 80, 90 mile per hour winds. Again, EF0 level, EF1 level tornadoes. But where you see these little indentations could be little spin-ups all up along that line as this is moving off toward the east at some 60 miles per hour. So again, I just want to kind of highlight the fact that you can't really fall in love with one position with this. That's one of the biggest boxes I think I've seen for a severe thunderstorm warning. And the reason why they have it like that is because of the nature of this line. Again, just unreal number of winds here. Just scanning through here, just unreal winds, directions here on this, but just tremendous storm blowing through here. Get ready, Pittsburgh. It's coming your way, heading right for you. Again, if you're new to the channel, I want to thank you for checking out the coverage here. As you can see, I get a little excited here when the weather gets hopping, and it's definitely hopping out there right now for this afternoon. For today, and that was expected. We had a very large area being impacted with this storm. So again, the city of Pittsburgh needs to take immediate concern on this. I'm going to go take a look here and see if I can find a Pittsburgh camera out on YouTube. I'm not sure if there's one there or not, but I'm going to go look. So bear with me for a second. Let's see here. I got Pittsburgh bald eagle. And there's Gatlinburg, but Pittsburgh, no, I don't want to see the bald eagle.
A new severe thunderstorm warning.
Yes, it's been another busy day, that's for sure. I've been trying to stay up on top of this. All right. I don't want to use TV stations, so I'm going to stay away from this stuff. But look at all these damage reports. I mean, this thing means business. Look at all these black spots in here. These are all damage reports, all those little spots in there. So you know we're going to get it bad in there. Let's see, I got a new warning that came out. Let's double check here. See if we got anything new. Oh, it's up New York. Let's go to New York. Okay, so this is for, this one's got possible tornado on this one. Southeastern Wayne County, Cayuga County, southeastern Oswego County, and northeastern Ontario County. It goes until 5:30. This storm's moving east at 55 miles per hour. But again, the big story has got to be this one. You got to stay. It's got to stay on this, because this thing is a very dangerous situation where we got 80, 90 mile per hour winds getting ready to come across the state line, getting very close to crossing out of eastern Ohio and moving in toward Pennsylvania. Let me go switch over to. I'm going to switch over to storm velocity here. Yeah, I really can't lock on to any one area though. That's what's so weird with this thing. You just can't really lock into one area because you got multiple ones to deal with here. You just can't. So again, I'm looking at storm relative velocity. If I'm locking in on one, I'm locking it down here. This is where if I was looking for one specific area. But then I see these little notches in here along the lines, and I'm going, but this is the most pronounced, right down on the southern part of that line, even down here a little bit. But this is probably the most pronounced. But anywhere along that boundary could spin up a little vortex. I mean, it's very, very, very easily. So Steubenville, Worthington, Toronto, East Liverpool, anywhere in there, there's going to be under the gun. And then here right there is the Pennsylvania-Ohio line. So this is going to be crossing over here, and then eventually going to cross. We're going to have a new warning here because we're right here right now. And here's the edge of the warning watch. We'll probably see a new warning coming out for Pittsburgh proper here, probably within the next 15, 20 minutes. I'll give it another 15, 20 minutes, and we'll see another warning that'll come out ahead of this. They're going to try to give as much people as much notice as possible on this cell as it moves off toward the east. What a busy, busy afternoon it has turned out to be.
New information. This special marine warning has been updated.
Quite a bit of stuff. Probably need to go ahead and turn those special marine warnings off. I gotta ask my other guy to do
New
that.
information. This severe
Robertson,
thunderstorm
Kentucky.
warning has been updated.
But again, look at the scale. We got 20 different warnings right now. 20.
New information. This severe, considerable, destructive
And
thunderstorm
we've added
warning
some
has
more
been
too. You got
updated.
New York State. You got New York State up here. You got
New
again Ohio,
information.
Pennsylvania,
This special marine warning has
Kentucky,
been updated.
Indiana, and Illinois. Now Oklahoma's in here, and Texas now getting in here. And you got this one down here to the south. So I mean, just a large number of counties now or states now under the gun with this severe weather. Very significant. Let's go back here toward Pittsburgh. And that is the main concern. And just look how fast that thing has moved down through that line. Just it's already almost a third of the way through. I mean, just really, really robust line. Switch that down a little there. There we go. So again, I got to tell folks again, just you got to get that interior hallway closet and into the basement. That's where you need to go, folks. Stay away from walls and windows. And this thing especially, because this thing, I think, because the fact that we're talking about a very substantial gust front, it's going to blow out a lot of windows, I think, too, as this comes out through. And the concern for Pittsburgh, obviously Pittsburgh has got a skyline. Okay, the higher buildings and stuff could get some of their windows blown out. Kind of reminds me of the tornado that went through Metro Atlanta back in 2008, back during the NCAA basketball tournament, blew out some windows and stuff through there. We could see something very similar with this thing coming on through here by the time we get to 5:15 or so. This thing is really moving at a very high rate of speed. A lot of stuff. I want to look at this again. It's almost like you can look here at the satellite imagery, and even you got the latest stuff coming in here, and it's like every single one of these lightning strikes, almost all of them are severe. Every last one of them have got some sort of severe weather with them all up and down it.
New information. This
Not one of them
severe,
does not have that.
destructive thunderstorm warning has been updated.
But we got to watch this one. But there's another one back behind here too, because you got this one
New
here,
information.
and then you got this other one that was that produced that earlier tornado warning. You still got this one back here to the west. Let me get back over here. Still got this one back here.
Warning. A new special marine warning has been issued.
But boy, this Pittsburgh cell really, really scary. Oop, new warning. Let's check that out. What we got? New warning. What we got? So I heard it. Where are you? Didn't see it.
New
Oh,
information.
New York.
This
That's
severe
a little one.
thunderstorm
Oh, good Lord. No
warning
wonder I
has been
couldn't see it.
updated.
Good Lord, that's tiny. All right, there it is. All right, so this one is for
A new severe
northeastern
thunderstorm
Seneca
warning has
County
been
in central
issued.
New York. This one goes until 5:15. Severe thunderstorm was located over Clifton Springs and moving east at 50 miles per hour. Hey, if you're new to the channel, please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and let me know where you're watching from as we continue to watch a very active afternoon. And hitting that subscribe button is a big plus for us. It helps our little channel out, especially when you got to go up against the Godfather. You don't go up against the Godfather. And for those who don't know who the Godfather is, his name is Mr. Hall, and he owns the internet. You can't even do a search on the internet without his name popping up on something. Even when you're looking up something that's not there. He has taken over the internet by storm. I just wish I would have had this
New
capability.
information. This
a year
severe
ago,
destructive
or-
thunderstorm warning has been updated.
We got a new update here. That's on this one. Let's see what it's updated here. This one just got updated. So let's see here. Still going until 5. Moving. Oh, it's accelerated. Wow, 70 mile per hour. It's moving at 70. So I'll say this again. Whenever you get a Boeing line like that and it is accelerating, I've been tracking this thing for a while. It was moving at 55. Then it went to 60. Now it's up to 70-mile-per-hour winds. That means those winds are going to do some major damage as it moves into the Pittsburgh area. We're getting awfully close here on this. So let me do a distance check on here from Pittsburgh now to the storms here. We are only 33 miles away. So hopefully folks in Pittsburgh are ready for this thing. We're going to get a new warning here issued at any time covering the city of Pittsburgh that's going to take a direct hit from winds that are equivalent to a Category 1 hurricane. We're talking 80-mile-per-hour winds blowing into that area. You see this humongous tornado warning, and they just put up, because it's like a dang EF0 tornado, EF1 tornado that's kind of racing through there, and there's little eddies all up and down that little line. So we're going to see this issued here very shortly. Look at all this wind energy. My God, bless America, that's a lot. And you see this little indentation. This is probably the indentation that they're most concerned about right through there. But we're talking about some major winds in here. Again, 86-mile-per-hour winds, 86, 82, 79, 75. So, I mean, just, again, hurricane force winds all up and down that line being detected. And really kind of holding their own. So that'll be moving into Pittsburgh here within the next, at 70 miles an hour. And it's only 33 miles away. That's within the next 30 minutes. So within that next 30 minutes. So it's accelerated. Initially I said 5:15. Now it looks like it might be close to 5:05, 5:10.
This tornado warning has been updated.
So this is for this tornado warning. They just updated this. Let's see what they said on this one. Okay, radar indicated here. It just got updated.
This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
This is from Wellsville to Titans,ville and moving east at 65. Hooverson Heights, Chester, Industry, New Cumberland, Burlington Town, Smithfield, Newell. I mean, just a number of towns in the path of this thing. So some big time stuff here coming, folks. Quite impressive. And this, the good news is this one does not look nearly as bad as it did earlier.
Severe considerable destructive thunderstorm warning has been updated.
All right, so this one's really got to stay our focus. We got to stay focused on this one. I'll do a little search here. I want to see if I can find me a decent webcam. Hold on. Let me see if I can find one. I want to see if I can find I don't care if it's a news one. I want to see if I can find one. So I've got ability to drop in here. So I'm going to see if I can find a good Pittsburgh webcam here. Pittsburgh webcam. Let's see if I can find one here. All right, there is EarthCam's got one. But the problem is they're going to have their stupid ads. They're going to pop up in here. Let me see if I can get this in here. Hold on a minute. Let me go studio mode here. Do a little bit of
a new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
So I'm going to try to see if I can put the Pittsburgh camera in here. And let's do interact. Unlock that. Oh, actually that works pretty good. That looked pretty good. All right, I do have a camera. Hopefully it'll stay up. Let me update the location for you real quick. I did find EarthCam, so let's use this one. So I wanted to have a good Pittsburgh camera just to see the storm come in. So here we go. Boom, here we go. So we're going to be watching Pittsburgh very closely as that storm gets closer to the city. This is from EarthCam. So we'll watch the storm as it approaches Pittsburgh to see how the storm does. Again, you got some high-rise buildings there in the Pittsburgh area. And again, the higher the taller the buildings are, they're going to be more susceptible to get some of the winds, some of those windows blown out because of what's coming at them. And this was coming at them right there. So, so we're getting awfully close here with these lines. Again, thanks everybody for checking out our coverage. If you haven't subscribed yet to the channel, please help our little channel out. You know, we don't have 2.7 million followers. We got 6,875. So every subscriber counts in our book. So if you can please subscribe to the channel and help us out, I do appreciate it. And if you got any questions or comments, please leave that down below as well. As I have the ability to pull up your questions, kind of like that, and answer your questions. So please do so. Boy, it's getting awfully close here. Let's do another distance check on this. Now down to about 30 miles out. So some very rough weather through there. See, got a new loop coming through. Let's see what this looks like here as this comes on through. I think I thought of something I want to try to do for a future graphic. I want to make this graphic look here, and I want to have one that is dedicated for a live shot, so I could put it right up there. So I'll just put that in my back pocket there. That I want to put when I've got a situation like this, or if I got a webcam for that, I can put it up right there. So I can do that. I think I could put it here potentially. Yeah, I could try that. Let me do that real quick. Let me see if I can do that.
New information. This severe thunderstorm
so let me see if I can do that real quick. I want to bring that over. And let's switch this over here. Oops, not that one. Oops. Hold on a second. Again, I'm trying to get this swept over here so I can do this. Go full. There we go. There it is. I just need to change the name. All right. Yeah, there it is. Boom. We'll just leave that alone. There we go. All right. There we go. It did work. Just had to think on the fly. Here we go. Oop, oh, dang it. I forgot. I got to take that off of refresh. My bad. Hold on a second. I forgot. I can't do it that way.
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
So let me take this off there real quick. I had it on refresh. I think with EarthCam you don't need to do that. On YouTube, whenever you use cameras on there, if you don't have it on refresh, it'll just pick up where you left off. But with the EarthCams, you don't have to do that. All right, there's our new warning. Just came out now. It's covering Pittsburgh. So here we go. I mean, look at the size of that box. Wow, that's a big one. 80-mile-per-hour winds, destructive winds here. So we're talking about a very large area. Eastern Columbiana, Beaver County, Northern Washington, Southeastern Lawrence, Butler County, Allegheny County, Northwestern Westmoreland County, Armstrong County, Ohio County, Brooke County, and Hancock County. That's all that. Moving east at 75. They just added this on the northern part of this line too. And that's for Tumbrel, Mooring, and Portage. All right. So we're getting ready to get hammered here big time. They are trimming away that tornado watch box there, or that warning, I should say. Not really watch box, warning in there. So we're going to see the conditions here at Pittsburgh starting to go downhill very quickly.
Thunderstorm warning has been issued.
As the storm moves on through.
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
12 minutes left on this one here.
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
See what these guys are saying here. So, Lesman to near Shippingport to near Avilia to West Liberty, moving east at 75 miles per hour. We're talking interstate speed. This thing is really, really hauling, but that's right there. It says 75 mile per hour winds. So this thing is really hauling it as it's being pushed by the jet stream and bringing that wind energy right down to the surface. Going to go right through the heart of Pittsburgh. So we're going to see the conditions up there in Pittsburgh go downhill very quickly, very rapidly as that storm moves on into that area.
This tornado warning has been updated.
So we got a new warning. Let me see where we got that new warning going on. This is for Texas.
A new flash flood warning has been issued.
And we got a new warning out here. And we got Connor actually in the proximity, so he's intercepting that storm there out in Texas. We'll see if any of those become tornadic or not. But this one is for northeastern Kent, southeastern Dickens, southern King, and northern Stonewall. It goes to 4:30. Storm is moving northeast at 30. That's down toward Texas. Like I said, we got a big area watching. We got another warning just came out here. Just caught this one while scanning back. This is for 60-mile-per-hour winds, 3/4-inch hail. It's for southeastern Lawrence County and southeastern Richland. Goes until 4:30. These storms are moving northeast at 50, so these are still moving pretty good as well. But the big story is this storm's here getting awfully close to Pittsburgh. Boy, we're getting very close now. Getting quite close to Pittsburgh now. I'll look at the... And the problem is that we're getting close enough now where we're going to start getting some attenuation from the radar, which is not out of the question. So right now, what they're getting ready to see, this is going across the state line. So let me come over to the wall here. We've got a very sharp line here going all up. Now you see these little indentions in here, and it could be tornadic. I don't know if they're going to extend this tornado warning into the Pittsburgh area or not. At this point, it's irrelevant. It doesn't really matter. But anywhere along that boundary, especially right in here where it's kind of bowing out, is where these 80, 90-mile-per-hour wind gusts are going to be. Again, here's the radar. We're only just a few miles away, probably about 10 or 15 miles away from there. So it is moving in very rapidly, and we're going to see conditions in Pittsburgh go downhill here very quickly here, very shortly. With these storms moving on through there. So get ready for more of that here very shortly. I need to update that chaser down there in the bottom right-hand corner because that's not him anymore. All right. But I won't worry about that right now. Let me go back over here to this mode here. I got to fix something here. So the city of Pittsburgh is about ready to get just blasted. And hopefully it's not too bad. Hopefully we don't lose that camera because that camera is we're going to probably get knocked out. I forgot to change the name on a chaser here, so I got to make sure he gets credit. And I want to make sure I update it. I did not update this earlier, so bear with me here for a second while I do that. There we go. There we go. Now we got it updated. All right. Whoa, what an afternoon. I'm going to go back over to velocity mode here. I want to see what some of the winds in there are doing. I see some more damage reports have come in here. Tree and power lines down. I think we're going to see a lot of that. Here's another one. Numerous power poles and lines down. Yikes. Just going to see a lot of that coming on through here. And these winds are very close. I mean, look, we're talking, it is almost on top of the radar. It is only 7 miles away from the radar. Yeah, here's the difference though. When they went through Columbus, they were bad, but this has gotten worse than when they went through Pittsburgh, through your area.
Thunderstorm warning has been issued.
So as bad as this was going through Pittsburgh, I mean through Columbus, it's going to be worse going through Pittsburgh. And let's hope we don't lose the radar. That's the thing, because these winds here, the most powerful part of these winds are getting ready to go right past that radar here, just a matter of minutes. So we're getting. I know I'm getting a little tunnel vision, but I really want to pay attention to that. Look at all these wind damage reports up here across New York State. Seeing numerous ones up in here. Also getting up there with New York State getting hit pretty good. We got 21 warnings out there right now. Pretty impressive.
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
Still look at, these are still kind of holding their own across Illinois coming into Indiana right now. And the chasers have finally got something they can lock onto. They're all kind of coming into areas down here.
New information. This severe
And you
thunderstorm warning
see the
has been
storms out there
updated.
in Texas. So we'll keep a watch file on this stuff out in Texas. There it was also a pretty high degree. They were going to see some winds out there
A
that are
new
pretty
severe
good.
thunderstorm warning has been issued.
Oh, got a new tornado warning down here in Texas. Oh, I didn't see that one. Ooh, that one looks pretty nasty.
New information.
This
special
is for
marine
East Central
warning has been
Pecos
updated.
County. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located southwest of McCamey, moving east at 20. So we got the one down there as
New
well.
information. This severe considerable
Velocity on that
destructive
one. Oh yeah,
thunderstorm warning
yeah, we got
has been
something spinning
updated.
around in there. Of course, this is out in the middle of nowhere, so that's good.
New information. This special marine warning has been updated.
So we'll keep an eye on that one as well. So we got a couple. We got two tornado warnings we're kind of watching.
A new severe
This one has just
thunderstorm
dropped
warning
off,
has
so they
been
just let
issued.
this one drop off. The winds are getting very close to coming through the down of Pittsburgh. This kind of reminds me a little bit last year. I don't know if anybody was watching last year. We were watching a derecho that was racing through Texas, and we were watching the storms as they were approaching Houston, and we were watching the skyline through there. And boy, that camera, it turned like pitch dark out there, and I think that's what we're going to see here in Pittsburgh. It's going to get very dark. That camera's going to start shaking. And we did lose that camera in Houston. It would not shock me if we lose the camera here in Pittsburgh as well as these lines of storms move on in there. Would not shock me in the least. I think I'm going to use this broadcast here as a recent broadcast for Radar Omega. I want them to
New
kind of
information.
check out
This
my
severe
coverage
thunderstorm warning has been updated.
and I want to give them some feedback on some things I like to see improved on here. Some settings I like to get improved.
New information.
Mainly, the big
This
thing I like to
severe
get improved
thunderstorm
is
warning
this
has been
box here.
updated.
See how small that is? It's kind of hard to read. I like to make this bigger, or at least figure out if there's a way in the settings to make it bigger,
Warning, a
so
new
you guys
special
watching
marine
at home
warning
can
has
see it a
been
little bit
issued.
better. So I'm gonna be going to pay Radar Omega, who are based out here in Atlanta.
A new
a visit here
considerable
real soon.
destructive thunderstorm warning has
Although I
been
don't have a
issued.
business card yet. I should wait till I get my business cards first. Well, how close are we now? Boy, we are really close. We are really, oops, sorry. How close are we now? We are now 15 miles away. So we're only a matter of minutes before this thing moves on in.
A new
Look how dark
considerable
it's getting
destructive
above.
thunderstorm warning has been issued.
Check out that skyline. Check out that view right there. That is getting awfully dark now. Let's go check out the big picture view here. Oh, we got an ad come up. Of course, we're going to get an ad. I'm using the Earth Cam shot there, so bear with me for a second while I try to get that ad back. It's got to play the ad. All right, good for Google Workspace. There it is. But look how dark it's starting to get there. It's getting very dark, and it's rush hour too. I mean, you couldn't time this at a worse time. It's coming in right at rush hour, coming into the city of Pittsburgh. And a lot of folks, if they're not paying attention to the radios and stuff, are going, uh-oh, what's coming at me? Well, this is what's coming at you. You got a very strong a line of thunderstorms with 80-mile-per-hour winds, like Category 1 hurricane, that are coming in there.
A new flash flood warning has been issued.
All right. Again, I want to thank everybody for joining us here. We're almost coming up on 5 o'clock here Eastern time, as we got a very impressive line of showers and thunderstorms getting ready to blast through the city of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania here. I've been tracking this storm since for about 2 hours now, about 2.5 hours we've been on here. About 140 views for our little audience here. And looks like the city of Pittsburgh is going to take a direct hit from basically almost like an equivalent of Category 1 hurricane, really. That's definitely, that's what we're seeing in this area, up to 80-mile-per-hour winds along this line. And all these little townships, you got McCandlins, Ross Township, Moon Township, Bethel Park, Cannonsburg, Washington, all this area in here is ready to get a hit with some very strong winds, and it's almost right on top of the radar. So I am concerned about losing that radar. Hopefully we don't. Hopefully we get to stay on there. But we're getting a lot of radar attenuation in here as it's perpendicular to the line. So we're probably not going to get very accurate wind readings as this goes by coming through Pittsburgh right now.
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
That is for Indiana. I get a little tunnel vision here. But Pittsburgh
A
is
new
definitely
severe
the
thunderstorm warning
place
has
I
been
would not
issued.
want to be right about now. As we've got that, look how dark, it's just getting dark so rapidly. It's just going downhill so fast. Check out that view. Just it's getting darker and darker by the second as those storms are racing in there. And we're going to see it race, and you're probably going to see the camera's going to start shaking like crazy. You're probably going to get some very heavy rains. You're probably going to lose that skyline shot, and it's going to get very, very bad there very quickly. I mean, it is very close now. Now only some 10 miles away. 10 miles. Yeah, I think I might do a little weather recruiting. I think I might try to see if I can find some students, meteorology students from University of Georgia, to see if I can bring them on board to be makeshift, another eyes and ears to do this kind of coverage. So not only when it's threatening North Georgia, but if they want to get some practice and kind of get an idea of what it's like to do this kind of coverage, especially when you go to a TV station, which I've done. I think that's a good opportunity. I might need to look into that. So I'll need to send somebody out. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I saw you just reply to my Our Treasured House, my comment
A new
earlier.
severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
So let's go back into this. So let's go back here toward Texas. We still got that one tornado warning back down here. Definitely good hailers on that. Once again, look at the hail cores. Boom, there they are. Right there, south of McCamey. They were getting hit pretty good the other day. So let me look at the velocity on this one. It's still very broad, though. If there's something in there, it's pretty broad. Hey, Mick, good to see you. We've been going off for about 2.5 hours here today. Good to see you. Love from Arkansas. Thank you for checking in. I think I'm going to use this as a demo reel for Weather Omega. I want them to. I'll probably send this to them and ask them. We're getting bad at radar attenuation, so the radar's getting hit now. It's coming through there, so you'll notice as this is moving through. You might think, oh, the storms are weakening. Well, no, they're not. It's because the radar beam they're coming right on top of the radar right now. The beam is having a hell of a time, so you're thinking, oh, look, it's weakened a little bit. Because that's what it looks like if you're eyeballing it. It's not really weakening. What's happening is you're getting a little bit of radar attenuation because it's moving through there. Hopefully we don't lose that radar with these 80-mile-per-hour winds blowing in there. And you can just see how dark it's getting there in Pittsburgh right now. As we're looking at the Earth Cam view there of Pittsburgh right now as these storms are getting ready to come through there. I'm very interested to see what that looks like as these storms blow through there. Be quite impressive. So I'm glad I was able to put the camera shot up there so I can keep a watchful eye on that. Yeah, I like to try to use that shot whenever. If I got a good place that's got severe weather going on and they got to go there. Here's another thing you can kind of see here. Remember I was telling you this is almost like a little mini low pressure system. And it's showing up very nicely here. So check this out. I'll check this over to black. Make this a little bit bigger. You see this little spin right here.
This severe thunderstorm warning has
This
been
is a little
updated.
spin. It's a little Vortmax, and then this is like a little mini front system. So you got a little spin up there, and that's why we had that tornado warning earlier. You get the little spin. You might get a little spin ups along as that gust front's kind of moving out ahead of the main squall line. So this is going to be moving here. Hey, puppy, you go away. I'm sorry I didn't give you no attention today. My dog's coming over here and says, hey, listen, buddy, you didn't give me no attention today. So I gave him his car ride and I gave him his cheese, but he did not get much attention today. All right, puppy. All right. This is getting really close. Look at this. Wow. We're within a few miles of downtown. Here's downtown Pittsburgh. Here's the front of the line, 6 miles away. That's it. So in 6 miles, you're going to see that conditions up there go downhill real fast. Destructive 80-mile-per-hour winds. Oops, turn that back off. So we're seeing a lot of stuff come through there. Yeah, but I definitely need to see if I can get an extra pair of eyeballs and a little extra help to do this, because there's only so much one person can do it during active weather. When you got somebody, when you're working at a TV station and you got producers and you got more eyeballs to do different things and pull up some different greens, it definitely is a big advantage. Only so much you can do when you're literally an army of one, and that's me right now. So I was going to stay going until the wife got home, whatever time she gets home here. But boy, Pittsburgh, yeesh, getting darker and darker there. And it's right. Look at all the cars out here in rush hour traffic. I swear I'm getting deja vu from Houston last year. Really bad. When they had that duration. When we were doing our Houston coverage last year, I got lucky. The Godfather wasn't on, and we had a lot of good views and a lot of good likes. We were able to grow the channel pretty good that day. Obviously, day like today, you're not going to get that. But that was a very lucky day. We were broadcasting that day. But boy, they're going to get hit here very, very shortly. Oh, within a miles or so. Let me go back to the radar again. Sorry about that. Don't want to get stuck on there too long. But again, look at all these warnings. I got all these statements over here. Canada even. All the way back toward Texas, Oklahoma, Illinois, Indiana. And look at all these clusters. You can see all the clusters.
New information. This severe thunderstorm
Of
warning
all
has been
these
updated.
damage reports in there. And we got a new severe thunderstorm warning up here to the north. Let's get into this one.
New information. This severe
So this is
thunderstorm warning
for
has been
southern
updated.
I guess it's Cattaraugus. I guess it's Cattaraugus County and southeastern Chautauqua County. Goes till 6 o'clock. Severe thunderstorm was located 8 miles east of Frewsburg and moving east at 40 miles per hour. These aren't quite moving as nearly as fast as the other one is. Go back to the Pittsburgh radar here. It's just, look how dark it's getting up there. My Lord. It is going to go downhill so fast there. Kind of watching that, man. So let's go and keep watching this.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued. New information.
Special marine warning
This
going on
special
there. Look,
marine
boy, it's
warning
getting
has
dark.
been updated.
Whoa. It's going downhill so fast. Look how dark that's gotten on the right side of the city. I mean, just looks like something ominous just coming over the horizon there in the stadium downtown. But I'm sure the folks are going, why is it getting so dark? It's still only 5 o'clock. Well, you got a very bad thunderstorm rocking your way there, my friends. Hopefully y'all are ready for this. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get good accurate read. I'm looking at the radar trying to see if I can get good rain. Too much attenuation to go in there and take a look at that. But right through the center, there's downtown right there. There's Mount Washington.
New information. This severe
looking
thunderstorm warning
where
has
that
been
bridge
updated.
is at. I think we're just miles away. Yeah, let's go ahead and let's stay on this live shot in Pittsburgh right now. Where this is coming in right now. Let's wait. Let's stay on this shot. We're going to stay on this Pittsburgh shot right now. This is coming into downtown right now as we speak. So we're looking at this live Earth cam shot. Oh, of course, Google wants to give us an ad right now. Google, you're lucky this is a family program, and I'm not going to give you the finger. I really love to give you the finger, but don't worry. It's a short ad. It'll go away in about 2 seconds. Google Workspace, get your ass out of there. Thank you. It's like they planned it. It's like they're watching. They go, ooh, there's a lot of people watching right now because we got this severe thunderstorm coming into downtown Pittsburgh. So I want to stay on the shot here for just a few minutes and see how this looks as the storms are going to be coming across that area. It's a very ominous. Again, there could be large hail in with this. I didn't see a lot of tremendous hail with this, at least looking at there, but definitely 80-mile-per-hour winds coming in with this storm as it comes on through. So I want to stay on this live shot here, kind of watching what's going on with this cell. As you're watching this live shot, again, we're watching this the live conditions here as they happen. You see the radar right there with Pittsburgh. And that's another thing I probably need to do. I need to make another version of this. So when I put the radar here and the image over there, okay, I'll need to, okay, that's what I'll need to do. So again, I'm always thinking about ways to try to improve the product look here. So what I need to make here is where I put the radar here and I put, so things go down here. Oh, it was stuck. So things go down here. Oh, it was stuck there for a second. Again, I hope we don't lose this camera. We'll see how bad it gets as it blows in there. So very, very powerful storms getting ready to come through downtown Pittsburgh as we speak with 80-mile-per-hour winds, equivalent to a Category 1 hurricane coming into the downtown Pittsburgh area. Here comes the rain. Starting to get the heavy rain starting to come on in here. Starting to lose that skyline. Here it comes. Very impressive. It's like someone turned the light off. Who turned the sun off? Check that out. Wow. It's like someone's taken the fade and kind of turned the fade down. Now, these are fixed structures, so we're not going to be able to really tell what the winds are doing because it's not like we have a flag to look at or something like that. So, but again, those high-rise buildings with 80-mile-per-hour winds coming in, that can be problematic. That could it depends on how strong those windows are rated. And right now, the new image shows it just coming into downtown, and I can verify that with the radar.
A new severe
So there it is. It's just coming into downtown right now. And thank you for the new subscriber, by the way, or just subscribe. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
A new severe thunderstorm.
As we're looking at the severe thunderstorm now coming into downtown Pittsburgh, turning day into night. Very dark indeed. And may have lost the camera there. I don't see anything moving there anymore. So again, as that heavy wind is coming into downtown, we may lose that camera. It depends on how if it's a direct wire feed or an internet feed, we may lose that camera. That was one of my concerns. And the fact that I don't see the traffic moving anymore, although the lights are coming on. I take that back. Maybe it is still on. I just noticed the lights come on down here to the south a little bit. So there's the image coming in right through downtown. Right through downtown Pittsburgh. And let's look at these winds coming in through downtown. Look at all these winds in here. Very strong winds, 60, 70, 80-mile-per-hour winds, 73, 86, right through the heart of downtown. 86, that's 86-mile-per-hour winds right there being detected by the radar going right through downtown. 65, 70. So we had some 86-mile-per-hour winds go right through the downtown heart of Pittsburgh. Let's hope and pray we don't have any major injuries out of that. But I think we may have lost that camera. I think that camera may have gone bye-bye. Oh, no, it's still working. I see it getting a little darker again. Let's see if that updates there. Nope, I think we lost the camera. Yep. Lost the camera. On there. So it's amazing how quickly it moved in. It moved in about 5:10. I think my initial view on that was talking about 5:15. So I really wasn't off by that much. But anywhere that squall line, this is like your low pressure system up here. You see it kind of low. These are all your damage reports back behind here. So we're getting that bow coming right through downtown. I just saw 86-mile-per-hour winds right through the heart of downtown Pittsburgh that moved on through there. So the highest winds are where it's bowing out. It's bowing out right over the downtown metro area. That's unfortunate. So some very bad conditions there through Pittsburgh, and now this will continue off toward the east. And Puxatawny, going to go to Puxatawny's up there where the groundhog's at.
information.
Johnstown,
This severe thunderstorm
Esburg,
warning has
White,
been updated.
Indiana, Pennsylvania, all these areas will be hit next as that vortex begins to move off toward the east.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
All right, let's go ahead and back up to here a little bit. Again, we got numerous warnings up here in upstate New York. They've really been getting hit up here for a while here, all afternoon. A new warning just came out, so we've just gone over to it. Let's go ahead and highlight it. There you go. Good timing on my part. There we go. This one's for an hour and 15 minutes. So this is for southern Lewis County. I think it's Cayuga. Cayuga. I think it's Cayuga. And southern Oswego goes until 6:30. Severe thunderstorm was located near Jordan or 7 miles southwest of Baldwinsville, moving east at 55. So these are moving at a high rate of speed as well. Turned out to be a very active afternoon. We knew it was going to start a little bit sooner today than it did yesterday. But these storms also have a history. Look at all these storm reports in here. Quite a few of them. And it'll be interesting to see what kind of damage reports we get out of Pennsylvania, too. Out of Pittsburgh. Let me see something here. Let me go to... Let's see if I can find anything out of there. Let's see here. Oops, no, that's not what I want. The wrong thing. I'm doing a little search here in Pittsburgh.
New information. This severe considerable destructive thunderstorm warning has been updated.
Now here's the video
A
here
new
I can show
severe
you. Let's show you
thunderstorm
this
warning
here.
Has been issued.
Hold on one second. I'm going to show you. This is from the Twitter feed here. I think this should work. Let me double check. Hopefully this works correctly.
Warning has been issued.
And hold on a second. I gotta grab that. Hold on one second. Go back here. Hold on one second. I'm gonna grab this real quick. Not that one. There we go. All right, so you kind of see this. This is the video here. This is the storm as it was coming on through. Make it a little bit bigger. So you see the dam. This is the storm as it was coming through Pittsburgh. Kind of accelerating it through. So you can see that this
severe
look how ominous that thing looked. The wind. You can see the wind energy just coming through, and just kind of whites everything out. Oh, lost the camera. Look at that. Wow. Boom. Camera out. That got taken out by the wind. Guarantee that got taken out by the wind. Let me play that again. Let's play that again. So play that one more time. And look at the debris showing up in there. We had a very destructive storm just coming to Pittsburgh. I just pulled this off the Twitter feed here, and boy, you can see all the wind is just kicking up all the stuff. And as it blew on in, the camera got taken out. So the power got taken out there. I think we're going to have widespread power outages across Allegheny County, right there in Pittsburgh, PA. But this is the video here on Twitter, on X. It was showing this storm as it was coming into Pittsburgh, and it really took out the
indicated tornado warning has been issued.
Took out the camera there. It's just getting darker and darker, and you can see the wind energy, seeing the debris just getting kicked out ahead of it. Kind of look down here to the south. You kind of see the little bit of the trees flapping in the wind. And as it got closer and the winds really picked up, we lose the camera here any second. Boom, gone. So, wow, that was something to see. All right, kick out of there. Come on. All right, let me go back to the radar. I just wanted to show that real quick. I thought that was interesting to see. So what I'm gonna keep doing is I'm gonna keep looking for any potential damage out of Pittsburgh. So I'll keep looking back at their the feeds over there.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
Here's another video to see here.
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
Here's another video to look at here. This is 2 miles to the west of Pittsburgh. Again, showing the cloud as it was racing toward. A lot of mamatas in there with that. But watch those trees as this thing really kind of kicks in here. Accelerate this up a little bit. So it's kind of weird when you can hear that wind energy coming in. Here it comes. Probably not the safest place to be. But you can hear that wind howling. See the lawn furniture? What I mentioned earlier, I said make sure you secure the lawn furniture, anything that can get blown out of the way. Luckily, I think the house is this way, so. That's some of the damage they're coming out of there. Let's go back over to Radar Mega here. And we got a tornado warning that came out here while I was goofing around, so really not smart on my part. Let's go back over here. This is for eastern central Allegheny County and northwestern Westmoreland. And that's part of that same boundary, though. Look at the line in here. Let's look at the Let's look at the velocity on this one. And it's hard to see. Let's look at storm relative velocity. And a little span. Get right across Interstate 76. A little bit, get ready to come through there.
New information. This severe
but it looks like a little bit of an inflow notch on here. This kind of wrapping around in here, which is not unheard of. Again, when you're looking at a squall line, you'll get these little eddies that'll spin up along there. And they just issued a very large, and I do mean a very large, severe thunderstorm warning covering numerous counties: east central Washington, southern Lawrence, Butler County, Indiana County, eastern Allegheny County, Jefferson County, Westmoreland County, Armstrong County, Clarion, and South Central Forest. Goes until 6:15. Severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from 7 miles west of Shenora, I can't even say that, to near Marewood. And these are moving northeast at 70 miles per hour. So once again, this whole squall line is moving at a high rate of speed, and we got that one tornado warning on the southern end of it. Possible tornado, but I didn't see anything in there that really caught my eye. Just very strong winds. All up in this yellow, you're going to be looking at 70, 80 mile per hour winds all up in here as that moves off toward the east.
A new destructive thunderstorm warning has been issued.
Yep, that's the one we just did. That alert is for that big watch. Talking about a huge tornado warning, right? Our severe thunderstorm warning covering that huge area right through there. That's what we just highlighted. So I'm going to go back over here to the bigger picture. Again, this is all being driven by one big major storm system. It's this one. You see the severe thunderstorm watches go out from New York State all the way back toward Texas. And where the wind damage threat has been the highest, it's pretty much lined up exactly where we thought it was going to be today. So you see the red in there, that whole area there, and that's where all the wind damage reports have been falling the highest, right in that red area that was running 30% for the wind damage threat today. Look at, yeah, it's still watching. Yeah, well, not really, but
new information. This tornado warning has been updated.
I think that is, yeah. Let's see if it. I want to see if Pittsburgh. See if that Pittsburgh camera comes back here. Of course, Google is going to give me their little ad. Let's see. 3, 2, 1. Come on, Google. Come on back. Let's see if Pittsburgh comes back up here. Nope. Yep. That's what I thought was going to happen. They lost that camera. That camera went down. So the Pittsburgh camera is down. Oh, no, there it goes. It came back. Okay. I thought it was down. Thought maybe it was down. It came back up. But I don't know if that's a recent one or that looks like a stuck image to me. Are the cars moving? No, they're not. So I think that's a frozen image. Okay. So I don't think they're going to get their camera back. I think the camera got taken out. All right, look at all these damage reports here, all huge ones up through here. Not as bad down here across Illinois and Indiana. This cluster has not been nearly as bad. And then, of course, we got all the storm chasers down here, out here in Texas, looking at the storms out here. Let's see what these are looking like out here. Yeah, that's not bad. Ooh, look at that. That's a pretty shot.
That crack is very annoying.
It's like under the mothership. All right, new severe thunderstorm warning came out.
A new considerable destructive thunderstorm warning has been
issued. This is for
issued.
the southern part of this line. This is for southeastern Washington County, southern Allegheny, southern Westmoreland, eastern Greene, and Fayette County. Goes until 6:30. Storm was located near Donora and moving east at 65. So the southern part of the line is a little bit slower. All righty. Well, I want to thank everybody for watching the coverage here. I know we were having spotty coverage again. It just illustrates the point, back-to-back days, that when it comes to doing this kind of coverage, when you're going up against someone on the scale of a Ryan Hall that's got 3 million folks, you're not going to get any traffic. So, and that's okay. I mean, what I need to start doing is like this morning when nobody was doing it. That's the time to do it. I got to pick my windows of opportunity because I like our setup. I really do. Got some little improvements we got to do here and there. But overall, I kind of like where we're going.
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
So let's go back over here. And I do need to go to the restroom one more time. So y'all bear with me for a second. I guess I'll leave it. Yep, there's a set. Wow, there it is, right? Moontown here. The Pittsburgh International Airport had a wind gust of 71 miles per hour. 71, almost hurricane force winds blew into Pittsburgh. I saw 86 on the radar, so that's not shocking at all. At least the radar held up. I'll give it that much. It did held up for it. So let me go back to this shot here, and I'll be right back. Just bear with me for a second while I go to the restroom real quick. All right, I'm back, guys. I'm sorry about that. I had to go get me a new soda pop. Again, I appreciate you guys checking out the channel today, this afternoon. We've been on for about 3 hours doing coverage. A little bit better with the viewer numbers than yesterday. We had 175 for 4.5 hours of coverage, and today we got 160.
New
so
information.
a little
This
bit better.
Flood warning has been updated.
Got a new severe thunderstorm warning up here to the north. Let's go check in on this one here. This is for southeastern Vengo County, northeastern Clarion, and Forest County. Goes until 6:15. 60-mile-per-hour winds with this one moving east at 65. So
Warning, a new special marine warning has been issued.
that is the northern part of this line. Again, boy, you can see the swirling. Look at that. It shows up so nicely. It really does.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
And it kind of so again, look at the swirl here. Again, this is what we call a vortex. This is a upper level disturbance kind of swirling around. Think of it like a mini low pressure system. Okay, so you got like it almost looks, if you remember, like a classic, cold front, warm front setup. See, here's your low pressure. Here's like your cold front right here, and here's your warm front going up there. So think of it almost like a mini storm system on its own. So it packs a powerful punch, especially as it's lying with the jet stream. It's flowing the higher jet energy down to the south. So you see, but the swirl shows up very nicely on this. Now the problem is when you get on the right side of this, it's swirling out. That's where you can get your little tornadoes to spin up along the bound. That's why we've had a couple tornado warnings with this particular vortex coming up. That's what I like to call these. Vortexes is what we call them in weather lingo stuff. So as this is moving up toward these, and then you got this boundary up here to the north. We get some heavy stuff up here to the north, heading up into New York, northern part of Pennsylvania, I should say, not New York. So again, just a very, very potent upper level disturbance that's been causing all kinds of headaches here for today. Been a bit of a problem, that's for sure. And I'm seeing some of these damage reports starting to come in behind the line here. Trees and wires down, trees down. There's going to be trees down all over the place. Trees down around right through 138. Numerous trees, power lines down throughout the area. In fact, let's check on that. I haven't looked at that in a while. I'm going to pull out of here a little bit, and I'm going to pull this over to the power mode, and we'll see what's going on with the power outages here. So I'm going to turn on the state power here, and we'll see what they're doing. So in the state of Ohio, almost 100,000 people without power. And in the Pennsylvania, 21,000, but that's going to go up significantly more. I can promise you that. And watch this when I turn on the individual county outage maps here. I mean, you can clearly see the path. Look at all the power outages in here. This one's got the highest, 5,800 out of 10. 56% of that county was without power. Half the county's without power. That one right there, and that's what went right through downtown Pittsburgh.
New information.
So you know that's going to be significant. There's going to be a lot of people with candles tonight. I got a funny feeling for that.
New information. This special marine warning has been updated.
So let's go up here to New York, check out what's going on up here. Look at all these little damage reports. Eesh, quite a few of them. 55-mile-per-hour winds. These are all like trees down, it looks like. Large trees down, yep. Let's check on this other one here. This one has not been quite as bad. We're still getting some damage reports here as well. Trees down and stuff like up here. So we still got the warning in this area as well. Now, tomorrow's severe weather, I don't think will be quite as bad. Be right across Texas and into Ohio. Might be doing some stuff with that tomorrow. We'll play it by ear. And I might start experimenting during off-peak hours just to see how it looks doing that. Ooh, look at this hail report down here. Wow, here's what I just saw a hail report here. 2.5 inch hail. Boy, that's a good one. Ooh, that's like baseball size hail there. That is pretty bad. Let's see what the chasers look like down here. All righty. But look, I mean, this warning, this is almost cutting almost, you see the warning up here? It's coming almost cutting through the entire state of Pennsylvania, coming right through the entire state. And of course, this is the worst part of it right through here. Right through. This is the worst part here, right across central Pennsylvania. Pittsburgh's gotten the worst of it. It's already gone through there. 70-mile-per-hour winds. Seeing some of the damage reports. Here's another one here. Trees on a house. Tree down on a house. Numerous trees and wires down throughout this area. That's just not good. Boy, I just hope and pray we don't get any loss of life. That's probably the most concerning thing with something like this, is you're always worried about getting a loss of life with this. All right. Okay. All right. I think I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. My wife's going to be home here soon enough. We did about a little over 3 hours of coverage. Again, I want to thank everybody for checking us out. The algorithms dropped me now, so I'm like down to 2 people watching. So with that said, I want to thank everybody for watching. A couple of lessons I learned, a couple of things I need to fix. I need to do a radar and live shot over there. I got to create a new graphic for that. So a little checkbox there to do that.
A new flash flood warning has been issued.
And we'll continue to improve and refine the product to make it better. And if you come back after the fact, make sure you hit that subscribe button up there and help us out for a future update. All right, you guys take it easy. We're going to go and shut down. You guys can go over and watch The Godfather. We'll talk to y'all later. Y'all have a good afternoon.